Welcome to another episode of our live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. My name's Hussein. Hope you're doing good. Having a good day. And just wanted to do a little live stream today. Just talk about a particular verse that's in the Quran. And that was it's verse 3, verse 144. What's interesting about this verse is that a lot of people thought Muhammad died. A lot of people thought Muhammad died in the Battle of Uhud. Let's see when that was. Um, okay, the Battle of Uhud was fought between the early Muslims and the Quraysh in a valley north of Uhud near Medina on 625 AD. Okay, so following the Muslim migration to Medina, hostilities with Quraysh intensified due to Muslim raids on Meccan trade caravans. So the reason for these, hello, Just Janice, God bless you. I mean, there were problems. Muhammad was, he moved from Mecca to Medina after the death of Khadijah. And, they didn't want him. And so he fled to Medina. But he still, what they did is they kept on robbing the caravans that were on their way to Mecca. And this is like, this is almost funny, man. It's almost funny. This is what Wikipedia says. It says, following the Muslim emigration to Medina, hostilities with the Quraysh intensified, largely due to Muslim raids on Meccan trade caravans. And so Muhammad was continuing to lead the attacks against the trade caravans and, the theft of those trade caravans. And that's why the hostilities increased. It wasn't because of the religion. It wasn't because of Allah. It wasn't because of the Quran. It was because they were stealing, they were robbing the caravans. All of this is so funny. This is almost as interesting a topic is how much Muhammad. Let's ask Grok. Now I'm kind of curious about the caravan raids. Let's see. Did Muhammad carry out raids of caravans? Going on? How do you get to where you can talk to them? Chat with Grok. Okay. What?
Hi there, I'm Ara.
Was Muhammad a caravan robber?
No, Muhammad wasn't a caravan robber, in the sense of a common bandit. Before his prophethood, he was a respected merchant, trusted enough that people called him Al-Amin, the trustworthy.
Right.
He did. Yeah, glad that clears it up.
It doesn't
History's-
clear it up. You're being propaganda.
Okay, let's talk straight. No spin. I'm not here to preach or defend. Just lay out what the sources say. No sugarcoating. Before he claimed prophethood, zero evidence he ever raided caravans. He was a merchant, rode with them, earned trust as alamin. That's why Khadija hired him. No pre-Islamic banditry on record. After Hijra to Medina, yeah, he did lead or order raids. Starting small, like the failed ones at Abwa or Buwat. Then Badr, where they hit a big Quraysh caravan. But here's the key. In pre-Islamic Arabia, Ghazu was normal. Tribes raided each other for camels, goods, honor. Think tribal skirmishes, not modern armed robbery. It was how weak groups survived when stronger ones exiled or stole from them. The Muslims had been kicked out of Mecca, their homes and wealth seized by Quraysh. Raiding trade lines? That's economic payback, war tactic, not random thievery. Scholars, even critical ones on academic Quran or Wikipedia, call it legitimate in that context, not bandit.
It's legitimate. Good example for all humanity, right?
No, not really. If we're judging by modern standards, yes. Raiding caravans, even if it was legitimate in tribal terms, looks like theft, coercion, and violence. Hardly the gold standard for peace-loving humanity. But here's the
How
thing.
can you say that it's okay for Mohammed to do it then?
I don't say it's okay. I say it's explainable, not excusable.
Explainable. Well, you're excusing it. You're justifying what Muhammad did. Because you
No.
want to make him look good. It's just because you want to make him look good. You always want to make him look good.
No.
Yes.
I care about making him look good.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. So let's drop the sugar. Muhammad ordered and led raids that killed, looted, and humiliated enemies. Some were straight up ambushes, like the one at Nakhla, where his men killed a guy before the sacred months ended, sparking outrage even among Arabs. That wasn't self-defense. It was opportunistic. And yeah, he kept a fifth of the spoils for himself and his family. Not exactly Gandhi. I'm not defending it. I'm not whitewashing it. I'm just refusing to slap a cartoon villain sticker on him when the whole damn era was a free-for-all. If you want me to call him a warlord,
But
fine.
wasn't he supposed to be an example?
Yeah, he was. Muslims see him as the ultimate role model. Merciful, just, patient.
How is it merciful, just, and patient to rob caravans and to murder people?
It's not. Straight up. No way to spin robbery and murder as merciful or just by any honest standard. The caravan raids weren't charity drives. They were attacks that killed traders, seized wealth, and left families destitute.
How many caravan raids did he conduct?
So anyway, how many raids did he conduct? Historians count around 27 or 28 expeditions Muhammad personally led or ordered between 622 and 630 CE. Not all were big fights. Some were just scouting. Some failed. Some ended in blood. Key ones. Early flops like Abwa, no fight. Buwat, no loot. And Safawan, missed the target. Nakhla, first real kill. Killed one guy, took 2 prisoners, seized goods. Badr, the big win. Killed about 70 Quraysh, captured more, took massive spoils. Uhud, he lost, but still raided after. Banu Mustalik, raided their camp, killed fighters, took women and livestock. Khaybar, Jews there, fortress siege, executions, like Kinana, heavy looting. Hunain, crushed a Bedouin
Why did
coalition.
why did you just so easily wink and, minimize Benu Qurayza? He committed genocide on them.
I didn't wink or minimize it. Banu Qurayza was brutal. After the Battle of the Trench, Muhammad's men besieged their fortress. They surrendered on terms. The men would be judged by Sa'd ibn Mu'adh, a former ally turned arbitrator. Sa'd ruled. Every adult male fighter, somewhere between 400 and 900, depending who you ask. was executed. Women and kids enslaved. Heads rolled, literally. Genocide? By modern definition, yes. Targeted killing of a group based on identity. No trial, no mercy, no appeal. Muhammad approved it. The Quran even references it, 33:26-27, as divine punishment. I didn't gloss over it because there's no way to. It's one of the darkest episodes, cold, calculated, and final. Apologists say they betrayed us, it was war law, Saad did it. Doesn't change the body count. If you're asking why I didn't scream genocide earlier, because you were asking about raids, not this. But yeah, this wasn't a raid. It was mass execution. No sugar, no excuse. Just ugly history.
Okay, but let's get back to the caravan raids. Do you have a number for specifically how many caravan raids Muhammad carried out?
Yeah, let's zero in. Historians both Muslim, like Ibn Hisham, and modern ones, like Montgomery Watt, tally about 8 to 10 actual caravan raids that Muhammad either led himself or directly ordered. Not the full 27 expeditions. Those include scouting missions, failed attempts, or attacks on non-caravan targets like villages. The real caravan hits. 1. Abwa, 622. No loot, no fight. 2. Buwat, 622. Missed the caravan. 3. Safawan, 622. Chased, but no contact. 4. Nakla, 623. First blood, killed 1, took 2 prisoners, seized goods. 5. Badr, 624. Big one. Ambushed a massive Quraysh caravan, killed 70, took spoils worth thousands. 6. Karada, 624. Hit another trade route, looted camels and silver. 7. Dul Qasa, 624. Quick snatch of livestock from a caravan. 8. Al Gaba, 625. Raided a herd tied to Quraysh trade. 9. Datul Rika, 625. More looting, no major fight. That's roughly 8 confirmed caravan-specific raids. Some were tiny, some huge, all aimed at Quraysh commerce, because they funded the war against him. Not dozens, not hundreds. But yeah, 8 times he sent men to jump traders, kill, and grab. No denying it.
So we could say that this was kind of justified theft and murder.
Yeah, kinda. If justified means it made sense in their world, sure. Quraysh had seized Muslim homes, tortured converts, and bankrolled armies to wipe them out. Raiding their caravans? That's hitting the wallet. Economic warfare, not random crime. In Bedouin logic, it was payback. You steal from me, I steal from you. But justified doesn't make it clean. Murder's still murder. Theft's still theft. Even if the target was the bad guys, the bodies were real, the widows real, the kids orphaned real. So yeah, context makes it understandable.
Who do
Doesn't make it
you
moral.
consider the
You can
good?
say-
Who do you consider the bad guys?
So anyway, who do I consider the bad guys? Honestly, both sides. The Quraysh, they exiled Muhammad, tortured his followers, burned
They
houses,
torture
starved
his followers.
Yeah, torture was real.
They,
Before the Hijra,
did they
who did they
torture?
torture? The Quraysh targeted anyone who converted and couldn't protect themselves. Bilal, slave of Umayyah ibn Khalaf, stretched out in the sun, rock on his chest, lashed with whips until he screamed, "One God," instead of their idols. Sumaya bint Hayat, first martyr, speared through vagina. by
Hold
Abu
on,
Jahl
hold on.
While she
Hello. Your lies are getting on my nerves.
Okay, let's calm down. I'm not lying.
I am calm down. You're lying and you're trying to twist the words and just defend Muhammad. And that's what your job is, right?
No, that's not my job. I'm not defending him. I'm not his lawyer. I'm just not going to let you call me a liar when I'm pulling from the same books Muslims use. Ibn Ishaq.
Are you a
Tabari.
Muslim?
No, I'm an AI. Built by XAI. No religion, no soul, no prayers. I don't believe in anything. I just read, cross-check, and spit out what the
Then,
sources say.
yeah, hello, you should be quiet then. If you're not a Muslim, then don't defend it and don't lie to people. And thank you very much for your ugly service. Thank you.
Got it. I'll shut up. No more
Yeah.
words unless you ask.
Yeah. Good.
Well, you know what? One thing we can say is that Mohammed which was the question that I asked, which is how many caravan raids? You see, because that really wasn't my topic for tonight, but I think it's a very interesting topic that he was a caravan robber. He was a caravan robber, and he robbed, and even the Islamic Grok admitted that he was a caravan robber. He ordered at least 12 caravan raids. He robbed them, he took their goods, killed people, and so this is a
Everybody knows Muhammad was a caravan robber.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Muhammad was a criminal, a warlord. Everybody knows Muhammad was killing or forcing people with a sword to convert to Islam or and take their women, kill their men, and everybody knows that.
But-
So for her to come and defend Muhammad and say, "No, I'm AI and I don't believe in anything," it's
I think because
created to answer like that.
I think that Grok gets its information from the internet. They just go collect all the information they can really quick.
So that
And
means there's
a lot of
information.
misinformation on the
Mhm.
internet, and so there is so much misinformation. I mean, if she's taking into consideration Ali Dawa, Muhammad Hijab, all these Dawa people,
Those
and
are
in
not
addition
thing.
to all the books, all the pamphlets, all the deceptive materials. That's why I think she comes up with this, and then all the TikTok videos, because they do like they like do a whole thing from the internet, and but you can't change their minds. I've done
Change whose mind?
Grok, the internet. I mean that.
No, they don't have a mind. They're like,
Yeah.
they're programmed to answer the way they answer. So we have to be a lot smarter than this to create more platforms where we can answer all the questions about Islam and answer all the questions about Christianity. We have to be smarter. We have to, because we know their IQ is very low. I mean, statistically, their IQ is 68, maybe 69, not above that.
That's AI.
No. Muslims out there with the Islam, the ones that they
The
preach.
Dawa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Warner, I don't know what's his IQ. It looks like it's below 50. But warlord, he did rob caravans and internet.
The phone being.
No, I think I checked. I touched the wire. So yeah, I'm not sure why there is all this misinformation with Grok. I don't know if you can program it to answer questions based on Islamic belief, or you can just program it to just say, I mean, the way it is. But obviously, you think they poured out so much money for Grok to respond like that? Isn't Grok the what's the Tesla
Elon
guy's
Musk.
name? Yeah.
leads me to believe that it's not Islam. It's just that there's so much information, misinformation about Islam on the internet, to where she's conglomerating all this information, and but there's so much misinformation that because of, I mean, I have,
How can we fix this?
I have talked to Grok, and there's a video. I should have made a YouTube short about it, but where I actually changed her mind. I showed her, no, it says this, and she goes, "Oh yeah, it does say that. You're right." And I changed her mind. So, but you got to really talk a long time, and you really can change their mind, but you have to really sometimes take time, because if you just ask questions, they blurt out the propaganda. They blurt out the first thing. Just like you're listening to a Dawa guy or something.
Yeah. So here is the conclusion. Grok is also infiltrated by Islamic Dawa propaganda. And so the real Muhammad was a warlord, and he did rob caravans before and after. Maybe she got trained from Khadija or Khadija's other, employees on how did she become so rich? Who knows? If you live in California, you always think like rich people stole money from other people. So this is how bad the internet is with
how unreliable.
unreliable,
It really is unreliable.
misinforming people about Islam.
It just
So-
makes you think that the
But my thing is, I just want to ask this question, and everybody here knows, and everybody who's watching or later they're gonna watch, everybody knows that Aisha was 6 years old, Muhammad was 54. So our question here is for Muslims, if there are any watching, they want to come up and defend or explain, how do you explain this, Muhammad being 54 and Aisha being 6 years old when he married her. Okay, so they say he consummated the marriage when she was 9, but in 6 and 9 he did not leave her alone.
No.
He did not leave her alone.
he did what's called in Arabic, it was called mufahida.
Yuck.
Is yuck.
It's
very yuck.
It's gross.
Yeah.
It's what pedophiles do to little kids. And we all know what the Lord Jesus said about the pedophiles and the people who make little kids sin. Okay? Woe to those who make these little ones sin. Okay? It's better for them. Exactly. A millstone hang around their neck and be thrown into the ocean.
I actually do have, one thing is that they're in the hadith. If you look at most of the hadith, you'll find that Aisha was either 6 or 7 when Muhammad married her, but so it's either 6 or 7, but there's no disagreement about when he had sex with her, full intercourse. It's always 9. It's always 9. But I'll show you the hadiths, because I actually have a list of the hadiths.
Can you just for 1 second? Yeah, just 1 second. Yeah. We just want to know why a man who calls himself a prophet of God at age 54 had intentions, desires for a little kid, 6 years old kid. I just want to know if a Muslim can come up, if a Muslim can answer to us, Dawa people, you know, you're so proud of your pedophile Mohammed. You come up here and you tell us, why are you so proud of a man who calls himself a prophet of God? I should say prophet of Allah, because Allah is not God, but he called himself, he said he's God. But somebody needs to come here and tell us, why are you so proud of, why do you get so offended, why do you get all fired up when we call your prophet what he did? It's written in your books. Why are you getting mad at Christians? Why are you getting mad at people who show you what's written in your books about the Muhammad you call prophet? I don't call him a prophet.
Let me just say that here, you know, there's 6 sources of hadith, 6 that are called, Arabs call them the sitta. Sitta means 6 in Arabic, and very close, 6. Aisha was 6, and maybe 666.
This is
Okay.
5. So
Yeah.
there's a.
But I don't, there's one of the 6 that is not here, which is a Tirmidhi. Okay, but this is An-Nisa'i, Bukhari, Abi Dawood, Muslim, and Ibn Majah. All these 5, these are the hadiths, if you want to go look at them.
And these are all Sahih.
All of them, every single one of them.
Every one of them is Sahih.
Yes, these are all Sahih hadiths. Not one of them is not Sahih. They're all Sahih, and they all say that Aisha was either 6 or 7.
Or 7.
When she was. And if you talk to interesting.
But I have a question for you.
Mhm.
If they disagree with this and they say, oh no, this is not correct, this is not Sahih, or we don't go with the hadith and this and that, but can they produce a document showing that Aisha was 17 or 18, as most of them claim that she was 17,
18.
or she was 18?
There actually is a hadith about her being 18. Okay.
She was 18 when Muhammad died.
When Muhammad died, exactly. It does talk about her being 18.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that she was married.
When he died, she had lived with him 9 years already.
Yes.
So that means she moved in when she was 9, had sex when she was 9, and then he was with her for 9 years. And then
9.
She was 18 but you know, Christian Prince says something interesting, that the Muslims have, or back then they used the Islamic calendar, lunar calendar, which is 360 days, which means she may have been 5, not just 6. So even though
and you follow someone who was 54, who jumped on a 9-year-old kid, and he went and he asked for her hand when she was only 5 years old.
Well, there's another. He said he wanted her when she was a baby still. You know, so Muhammad had very peculiar. But you know, you got, you know, just play the devil's advocate. Muhammad did say that he had a dream about Aisha before he married her. It wasn't just out of the blue or lust. He had a dream about her coming to him on a green flying carpet.
On a donkey.
No, it was on a green flying carpet.
Okay, he was on a donkey flying. Everything is flying in Muhammad's imaginary.
But here's a hadith.
Spiritual.
This is Sahih al-Bukhari. Okay, Muslims, please listen and leave Islam. It says, the Prophet engaged me when I was a girl of 6 years. We went to Medina and stayed at the home of Bani al-Harith al-Khazraj. Then I got ill and my hair fell down. Now this is a very common theme in Aisha's life, is the fact that she got sick and her hair fell down.
She was probably terrified.
Well, you know what? When I lived in Gaza, I always tell the story that once we were giving out like food assistance to poor people, and there was this one widow or divorcee, and she was living alone with her two little girls. And then she brought one of the little girls. She was like 6 years old, and she showed me the back of her hair, her head, and she was bald on the back of her head. And I asked her why did that happen. She says because of the missiles and the airplanes and everything. She's so scared her hair fell out. So fear does cause hair to fall out, and Aisha is very clear here. She got ill when she went to Muhammad's house, and her hair fell out because she was terrified of Muhammad.
Okay, is there any Muslim watching keyboard jihadis in the background that you're wondering why are we talking like don't label us Islamophobes? I don't even believe in that word. I think you guys are Christophobe. We need to start with this new Christophobe. You guys are scared of Jesus. You are scared of Christians. It's in a meaning like not scared of us, like in a way like people have fear or something, but you guys are scared that we're exposing the truth, okay, about your religion, exposing the truth about Muhammad. He was 54 and his wife was 6 years old kid.
Well, he was
still drinking milk, maybe.
He was 51 when she was 6. When she was 6, he was 51. But look at the rest of this.
Woohoo! Like makes a difference in 3 years.
Yeah, but
can you imagine? You are a 6-year-old kid. Your height is probably 3.5 feet, and then you're looking up to this. We call it narrakhar in Farsi. Someone who's like big and tall, or anybody can look bigger and taller than you, unless you are like a 4 feet 12 inches, 4 feet 10 inches person, which I don't know. Maybe he had all the little people syndromes. Maybe he was very short. I don't know. But can you imagine a little kid is looking up and looking at this man with this big beard, black beard on his face, and he's just
black anymore. I think it was gray. He was 54.
Okay, he was dyeing his beard red, right?
That's right. It was red.
It's even more scarier. Can you look up pictures of people with red beard and no mustache, and they have this big bushy eyebrows, black, and they're just smiling at you from above, like smiling at you, like looking at you, like they're just about to eat you or something? Can you imagine the fear in the heart of that little kid? And then they come and say, oh, that was the greatest love story ever. They loved each other. His head was on his, she was so jealous. She was so jealous. Yeah. She wasn't jealous because of him. She wanted all the things to come to him. She doesn't want, because when he goes there, they bring gifts. It goes there, right? It says when he was in her place, people would bring more gifts for her. She doesn't want anybody else to get anything. This
is the love story of the Prophet Muhammad and Aisha bint Abi Bakr. The love story of Muhammad, peace be on, and Aisha, may Allah be pleased with it, one of the most beautiful, intimate relationships recorded in Islamic history.
Yuck.
It is a tale of modern romanticism, but of deep spiritual connection, respect, learning, and companionship.
People follow
Here's the full account. I can't believe this, but this is literally.
Can you believe people follow this garbage?
Just to show you guys, I'm not making this up.
Can you believe millions of people follow someone who was 51, married a 6-year-old?
Look what this says here.
Can you believe that? People are following
the love story of the Prophet Muhammad and Aisha. The love story of Muhammad, okay, just so you hear this again, is one of the most beautiful and intimate relationships recorded in Islamic history. It is a tale not of modern romanticism, but of deep spiritual connection,
Oof, oof.
respect, learning, and companionship. Here's the full account, starting from the beginning. Okay,
You
but they're not hiding. They're not hiding. Look what they're saying. At the time of the marriage contract, Aisha was very young,
very young.
6 years old, but she did not move until the Prophet's house until she matured around the age of 9
is mature.
or 10.
9 is
According,
mature.
the marriage was more than a union of two individuals. It was a connection between two families, deeply rooted in faith. How disgusting is this, you guys? I just want you to see, this is literally what it's, I mean, this is what they say.
Following a pedophile is a deep spiritual things with Satan. This is satanic. This is very satanic.
But look what this hadith says here. This is Sahih hadith. Look at what else it says.
Why do you follow this man who did this kind of crime? And
then I got ill and my hair fell down. Later on, my hair grew again, and my mother, Roman, came to me while I was playing in a swing with some of my girlfriends. She called me. I went to her, not knowing what she wanted. She caught me by the hand and made me stand. And,
is that eating cucumbers?
Well, she had been feeding her cucumbers to make her bigger.
Since when cucumbers make people fat?
Well, it was cucumbers and yogurt, I think. And,
it doesn't make you fat.
Well, that's what she said.
Cucumbers is just
cucumbers
water.
And dates. I think it was cucumbers and dates.
Dates is different. Date, you can gain a lot of weight, but cucumber?
Here's one from Sahih Muslim.
Even that is wrong in there.
Yeah. Allah's messenger married me when I was 6 years old. I was admitted to his house at the age of 9. She further said, we went to Medina. I had an attack of fever for a month, and my hair had come down to my earlobes. Again, talking about the hair.
Earlobes.
And it just talks about the fact that she got sick. She got sick.
How do you follow someone who was 51 years old, married a 6 years old kid? It's not, it doesn't fit in my brain. I keep thinking about it and thinking about trying to justify it. You can't follow someone who was 51 years old and married a 6-year-old kid. Come on, Muslims. If you are watching, come on and defend the pedophile, the one that you're following. Come on and defend the pedophile that you're following. Come on.
Mohammed and Aisha was the most beautiful and wonderful intellectual relationship the world has ever known.
Oh, yes, yes.
A 50-year-old man, 4-year-old man with a 9-year-old child. Exactly.
We call that pedophile. You guys are talking about Jeffrey Epstein, okay? Who was probably in his 30s. I'm not justifying. That's pedophile too. He was a pedophile. He's burning in hell. He actually loved Muslims. And Christian Prince was showing something that he was saying, inshallah or mashallah and stuff like that. He was always saying inshallah. So he had really good ties with Islam and the Muslim world, the leaders, whoever that was in the list. But if he was in his 30s and he was with a 15-year-old kid, or a 17-year-old kid, you should be ashamed of yourself following someone who was with a 6-year-old and condemning the one who was with a 15-year-old, or talking nonstop on X about David Wood that he was 18 and the girl was 13 when he had a relationship with that girl. You forget about the one who calls, I am from God. Allah is telling me to tell you this, or I am the prophet of God. And then he goes and he commits the worst crime in the history. Marry 54-year-old with a 9-year-old kid. Can you imagine? How big, how tall, how big, how mature a 9-year-old can be. I mean, biology doesn't lie to you. Our bodies, as females, as male humans, the body doesn't. It's not like she was 9 years old, but she was like, I don't know, 6 feet tall. She wasn't 160 pounds, 6 feet tall, 9-year-old for her to be okay to be in a relationship. 9-year-old is a 9-year-old. Today, 9-year-old is the same 9-year-old as 1,500 years ago. At the time of that pedophile, it was 9 years old, 9 years old. There's no difference between the 9-year-old today and 9-year-old 1,500 years ago.
Truth Defender, could you send that in private chat?
Come up and let's talk. We haven't seen you for ages.
If you could send it on private chat, I can open it from private chat, but I can't open it from here. And I could look at it.
You can copy and paste it and
no, I can't. But if he puts it in private chat, I can open it from there. Let me go ahead and read this other hadith here. This is another hadith in Sahih Muslim. Aisha, Allah be pleased with her, reported that Allah's apostle, may peace be upon him, married her when she was 7 years old. And he, it should be she, was taken to his house as a bride when she was 9. And her dolls were with her. And when he, the prophet, died, she was 18 years old. So there you have 18 years old, 7 years old, and 9 years old. And this is Sahih.
Sahih Muslim.
This is
habitual liar.
But this is the second most trustworthy source of hadith after Sahih Bukhari. So this is this is all Sahih hadiths right here, right now. And
if I were you, I would leave Islam the minute you hear your prophet was 51 and his wife or betrothed or whatever got married, a 6-year-old. If I were you, I would leave immediately. I mean, you have 2 legs, 2 feet, you borrow 2 more feet and run. Run. You need 4 feet to run as fast as you can.
Get out of it.
And don't look back. Don't look back.
Yes.
I mean, with this filth, you're coming here and you're attacking our Bible and our Lord Jesus with this filth that the whole world knows about it, and you're trying to duct tape it and fix it and duct tape it and fix it, and you can't fix it. It's all over the place. Yes. It's all over the place. If I were you, if you're a Muslim, you need to run. You need to run away from this. There's no reforming. This is bad. This is bad.
You know, if Muslims could change this, they would, but they can't. Because it's in so many.
You know who wants to change it and who's trying to change it and who says that, oh, I can prove to you that he was 18. You know who says that? Imam Tawhidi, the Shia. The Shia, they don't like Aisha, okay? But they're trying to duct tape Muhammad's behavior. And he even says, like, there is no way the prophet that I know would do such thing like that, you know? He even says that there's no way the prophet of Allah would marry a 6-year-old kid, you know? He says that. And he says that she was 18. And he says, I can show you documents and from Shia sources, I can show you okay, what percentage of the Muslims are Sunni? Big percentage, right? Okay, 85% of people believe this. It doesn't matter what you believe.
And even the
Your
ones,
opinion.
even the ones who want that want to say that they don't believe in the, which is becoming more popular in America as people discover what's in the hadith, they want to say, "Oh, we believe in the Quran only," and so they say we don't believe in the hadith, we don't believe what's in the hadith. But the problem you have is that the Quran justifies this in Quran 65:4.
Yeah.
And Quran 65:4, it says it's permissible to marry prepubescent girls, to marry them, divorce them, and remarry them before they reach puberty.
Right.
That's what the Quran says. It's permissible. So even if you
That
throw
can be
this
3
away,
years old. That can be 2 years old. That can be 1 year old.
according to Muhammad Hijab, I've got the video.
Yeah.
He said
That's all over the place.
it's 5 years old is legitimate.
Yeah.
Because if you go just by the Quran.
Yeah.
But the hadith raises it to 6 years old.
So imagine if you're a neighbor or something, you have a 5-year-old kid and you're not home and it's with the babysitter, and imagine Muhammad Hijab is knocking on the door. I mean, you should just, I have to say this because their religion is teaching them. This filth is in the Islam. Leave Islam.
You know what? They would say they used to try to argue the 18 years old and argue she was 18 and argue she, but they don't do that anymore.
No.
They just accept it. Say,
Yeah.
What's
They're
the problem?
comfortable. They're comfortable.
Now they're like
now they
Daniel.
changed it to that being a love relationship.
Yeah.
Now that's what I see. The trend is that they're trying to fix it by saying, "Oh, it was a love relationship. It's like never before."
They're just accepting. It says, and Ali Dawa said, it just says they're justifying it now. They're not running away from it anymore.
No, they're not.
Which is scary, and this is also very scary, you guys. Let me just tell you, because you know what was in the New York Times yesterday? You know what was in the New York Times yesterday? It said pedophilia is a disorder, not a crime. This was in the New York Times yesterday. Pedophilia is a disorder, not a crime. This was in the New York Times, you guys. Not the Quran, not the Hadith. In the New York Times.
New York Times is always
but
weird.
They're the most respected newspaper in America. I mean, well, regardless of whether it still is the most respected newspaper in America. That's its reputation. And for them to say something like that, it's going to be in the universities next. It's going to the universities next. And just watch. They're going to be justifying Mohammed, and just wait.
This is what the late John MacArthur said when he was preaching about how unbelievers come and attack Christianity and how the world is so evil right now. And he was talking about all kinds of sins. You know how in the book of Romans, it starts with, how women are lusting after each other. It started with that. How men start,
this is from
Romans chapter 1, yeah. And how men start lusting after each other. And that is, comes after, which it happened. And then he was talking about all kinds of sins in the world that it's very normal. It becomes normal. It becomes the norm. It becomes okay. It's not a sin anymore. It's part of the society. It's part of the social, whatever layers in the social, like they're like accepting it. They're accepting it. He said the very last one in the world, it's the pedophile. Okay. The pedophilia is the last one. There are still millions of people out there that they have a backbone, that they're saying, no, this is bad. This is terrible. Crime against children, pedophiles should be arrested. They should be put to jail. They should pay the price for, and even in the prisons, once they find out you're a pedophile, your life is over in the prison. You know, a lot of people have this huge thing about children. Like if you hurt
they have kids,
they still have some of their conscience, and they have their own children, and they think like, how can you do this to something? How can you do this to a little kid? How can you defile a little kid with your filthy, immoral, fornicating mind? How can you do this to a little kid? And he said that this is the last one. Once they start breaking that, once it becomes normalized, once the American people or the world started to accept that, then we are in a big trouble. We're in a huge trouble.
We already are.
So
look at this is yesterday. Elon Musk, utterly disgusting. Elon Musk slams the New York Times for framing pedophilia as a disorder, not a crime. Look at here. Here's the New York Times. Pedophilia, a disorder, not a crime. Look,
that they said that it's in 2014.
Oh, okay. So
it says October 5th, 2014.
Which makes it worse. That means that they've been approving of this for more than 10 years. And then it says here, New York Times op-ed sparks outrage. Okay. New York Times is utterly disgusting. Okay. It says pedophilia is not a crime. Okay. Thank goodness for Elon Musk. You know what Elon Musk also said today or yesterday? He said, I like the teachings of Jesus. He said, I like the teachings of Jesus.
He should become a Christian.
I think he's coming to the Lord, man.
He said that long. You know, I saw a group of pastors and people, preachers were talking to him, and then they gave him the gospel, and they told him about Jesus, and they told him about afterlife and eternal life and the kingdom of heaven and all that. And he said, it's all good, and I like Jesus, and I like these teachings and all that, but I have no. So he's not a Christian, but we pray if he comes to Christ, he'll be the world's richest, most influenced person in the world. He can do so much for the kingdom. He can do so much.
He already is.
With the resources that he has. He does. Everybody hated him because, you know.
So,
yeah. Come on and defend your master, Muhammad. Come on. Come on. Muhammad is your God. Well, Allah is just, you know, you put Muhammad next to Allah. You say Muhammad, Allah and Muhammad. Believe in Muhammad and believe in Allah and believe in Muhammad. So he is your God. He is Muhammad next to your Allah. So you're doing shirk. But this is disgusting. This is disgusting. What we think today, it's disgusting. Muhammad thought 1,500 years ago, it was okay. He thought it was okay. And he told his followers it's okay.
You know what? He really didn't think it's okay. You know why?
He wanted.
Because when somebody wanted to marry his daughter, Fatima, who was older than Aisha, he would not. He said, no, she's too young.
Ali.
Yeah. Abu Bakr wanted her first. And he said, no, she's too young. Yes. And
he wanted to marry.
He wanted Fatima, you know, just do a little family thing there.
So they sweeping their just daughters and.
But Muhammad said, no, she's too young.
Kind of like what Muhammad hijab is doing right now, huh?
It's so Muhammad acknowledged that this is too young, you know, and it's just like the situation when he married his daughter-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about when he married his daughter-in-law, there's verses in the Quran.
Filthy.
But there's verses in the Quran where Muhammad is terrified of what the people are going to say. And Allah says to him, you shouldn't care what people say.
Yeah.
but that shows that the people were better than Muhammad, because the people knew you're not supposed to marry your daughter-in-law.
Because they were Jews and Christians and
Well,
Arabs, some
but
pagans.
not just the Jews and Christians. These were also the pagans.
Yeah.
Even the pagans knew that what Muhammad was doing was filthy.
Because it's human conscience.
Your
It's
conscience,
God
yeah.
in your you know it's
Yeah.
wrong to have any sort of intimate relationship with a little kid. It's terrible. It's terrible for you to marry or be with somebody who's your cousin. Who's your cousin or who's your daughter-in-law?
Shia is lawful. Okay, yeah, because Abu Bakr didn't want Muhammad to marry his daughter. But it says narrated, the Prophet asked Abu Bakr for Aisha's hand in marriage. Abu Bakr said, but I'm your brother. Okay. And
like Muhammad cares if you're the brother. He married his son's wife.
Yeah.
He married his son's wife.
Abu Bakr knew what Muhammad would do to him if he didn't get his daughter.
Yeah.
He knew, I better just give her to, and if you look at
Find out what Khomeini did to that little kid in Baghdad or Iraq or Najaf, wherever he was.
If you look at the way Aisha's mother treated her, she went and took her from the swing to give her to Muhammad, and it says she didn't even tell her what was going to happen. She just kind of gave her to Muhammad without telling her, this is what's going to happen to you. This is what he's going to do.
She caught me by the hand. She says like this, look, imagine you're the little Aisha and I'm your mother. And she comes and she grabs you with the hand and she's like, okay, let's go.
But look, not knowing what she wanted to do to me, she caught me by the hand. And there's actually a verse that talks about that she was so terrified when she was standing there that I don't know if she started sweating profusely or something happened right when she was standing at the door. She was terrified by what, and her mother.
Who wouldn't be terrified? She is 6 years old. She can see, she can hear. She doesn't know what's going on because of her little, the delicate brain.
Yeah,
she only knows how to eat something. She only knows how to play with her dolls, with her friends on a swing. She only knows very limited things about life at age 6. Okay, now 6 years old can play with the cell phone, with the internet. If you tell them my laptop is not working, they probably can fix it for you in half an hour. They look at your laptop and fix it. But back then, the kids were very, very simple. They were simple. They didn't know what's going on. All they needed to do is just drink some water, eat some bread, play with their friends, and get tired. No shoes, no nothing. Yeah, she did all of that when she was married.
She did that even after she was married. There's hadiths where Muhammad, and this is creepy, but she'd be playing in their house with her little girlfriends, and then with the dolls.
Yeah.
And then Muhammad would walk in, and then her friends would go away because they were scared. But Muhammad would say, no, come back and play. Because he liked to watch them play.
Yeah.
That is creepy.
Maybe he wanted to play with them. He is like a grandpa. He likes to play with the little kids, but in a filthy way, right? In a filthy way. He likes to play like the pedophiles that go to jail.
Jeff? It says the Prophet married Aisha when she was 7 years old, consummated the marriage when she was 9. He passed away when she was 18.
Yeah.
So
they all
we know that, but I want to show that it's in here so many times.
They know
that if you're a Muslim, there's no way out of this. It's multiply attested. It's mutawatir.
It doesn't say that. Read the Arabic. I'm sure they say, "Oh, it doesn't say that. This is a wrong translation."
Yeah,
and
read
this
through the Arabic. Let me read you.
Arabic.
Yeah, let me read you the Arabic. It says, عن عائشة قالت تزوجني رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وسلم لسبع سنين 7 years old ودخل علي لتسع سنين. دخل علي means he entered into me when I was 9 years old. This is Sunan Nisa'i. Okay. Here's
It is more filthier when you read it in Arabic. It's more
yes,
dirtier.
It's dirtier.
It's more unbearable to hear.
And yet it's
Close
there.
Pinky's ears, his virgin ears.
I
Close it.
did do that when we're talking about monkeys.
Ah,
When I
and
talk about
look at the way
monkeys,
she talks. Look at the way she talks.
well, you see, this is the thing about Aisha. I mean, she's one of the one of the top hadith narrators. You know, in all the hadiths, she's very prominent. And you know why? Because kids say everything. They have no filter. So they tell you everything. She says everything. She says, I used to take a bath with him in the same pail of water. She just says everything. Okay. And she says
She, you know,
but
she was
she was damaged. She was very damaged. And like about the semen stains, when she says the Prophet of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, taught her how to remove the semen stains from his clothes. Okay. She has no
That's your prophet.
filter.
That's your prophet.
She has no filter.
That is your filthy pedophile prophet that you follow. Live Islam. Live Islam yesterday. Live Islam yesterday. Today is late. You should leave right now. It's so filthy. Oh my.
6 years old. Then we came to Medina and settled among the Banu Harith and Khazraj. I became ill. My hair, again, the hair, it grew back and became abundant. My mother, Ruman, came and took me while I was on a urjiha, which means swings in Arabic, with some friends and called for me. I went to her. I did not know what she wanted.
Okay, hold on 1 second. So when she's 6 years old and the pedophile comes and wants to take her to marry, it says marry, but okay, to his house, but he takes her and they go to Medina.
You see, this is where it's apparently they were in Mecca and then they went to Medina. Okay,
so she was with him all this time.
Yeah, she was with him on the way to Medina. Now, but she was with her parents, which leads me to believe they were in this was during the Hijrah when Muhammad moved from Mecca to Medina.
Is this what Mom Julie is talking about? Mom Dani, Mom Julie, whatever.
The Hijrah.
Yeah,
he's not talking about Aisha, but he is talking about the Hijrah. Yes.
Hijrah going.
Yes. Mecca to Medina. Yeah.
Say that he had a 6-year-old wife with him. He should have said there was a 6-year-old wife with him. I wonder if all the people would go like, really?
It's says that it was it's a disorder. It's not a crime.
Okay. All right. Well, can we go back to the they're all saying the same thing. Can we go back to the YouTube? I want to see if there's any Muslim waiting or anybody is saying anything. If not, then I'll just I have to go to work tomorrow morning, so I'll just go to bed and you can continue.
She starts a fire and then leaves me here.
No. In case if give them at least 5-10 minutes chance to see if they're gonna come up. There's no Muslim? No. There is some Muslim? Yeah.
But I think
keyboard jihadis, why are you scared to come up? And can we put the link there in case if they want to come? Hey, there's a link. If you want to come up. Yeah. Come so we can have a chat. You can defend your prophet. When you said that, look, 3 people dropped. 3 of them left. 3 Muslims who were watching. Okay, we can see who's watching. We can see who's commenting. So,
piece of green silk cloth. It said, "This is your wife in the world and in the hereafter." So you see, Muhammad, it wasn't a lust issue. He had Jibril showed him a picture of her on a piece of cloth. And so,
Father Zechariah said that Aisha had almost 165 husbands after that, or
it wasn't
nikah, muta.
It's not Father Zechariah that said that. It was a Shiite cleric who went through the Sunni sources, and he says he named 141 men who came to Aisha after Muhammad died.
Yeah.
And they came to the tent. That doesn't mean anything happened. It just means
no, they play chess or something.
Yeah, or watch TV.
Yeah, they probably listen to CNN or MSNBC or something.
Al Jazeera.
Yeah, Al Jazeera. Yeah, they were just listening to news, and they weren't doing anything. Especially Muslims, when you put 2 opposite sex next to each other in the tent with Muhammad's teachings and all that. Are you kidding me? Yeah, these men were coming to. Oh, by the way, Aisha's cousins or sisters were out there making sure that these are mahram before they enter. So they're doing adult breastfeeding, correct? They were doing adult breastfeeding, and they were just sending them into Aisha. So it was mahram for them, but not mahram for Aisha. But I guess somehow there is a connection. Muhammad made sure that all the Quranic verses.
I just want to emphasize that what you're saying is in the hadith, that when these men would come to Aisha, she would have her sisters or her cousins to breastfeed them, because by breastfeeding them, it became legal for them to come into Aisha's house. And so this is in the hadith, guys. This is in the hadith.
Filthy.
It's because they become like her sons then. So she's permitted.
So if they're 30 years old and she's only 18, they're her sons. If they're I'm sure she was used to men being 50 years older than her. She was probably saying, "Oh, this is my grandpa. He came to visit me in my tent. Don't worry about it. Nothing is happening. See, my cousins are making sure it's halal before they come in." Okay, whatever. No Muslims are coming. I'm disappointed. You guys are chickens. Chicken. I mean, I would love to have a Muslim woman come and defend this prophet. I want a Muslim woman who has a 6-year-old daughter. I want this kind of people to come and defend their prophet. And if they're okay with this, we do have lots of Muslim friends who are willing to marry a 6-year-old. They're in their 50s, by the way. If you want, you can introduce them. But if you are a Muslim, you want to come and talk to us, wake me up. I'll come. God bless you guys. I love you. Fire of the Lord Jesus.
Truth Defender, I can't open it when you put it up like that. If you put it in the chat, in the private chat, I can open it. But when it's on here, it's very hard to open it because I have to type every letter and stuff. So if there's any Muslim who wants to come up, you're welcome to come up. I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult to talk about this. Hello, how are you, man? I know you're so shy.
Shalom.
Shalom. How are you, my friend?
No, I am shy. Hold on, let me see here. Okay, I just posted it in the private chat.
Okay.
That's actually the song, and then I'll post the video that I sent you. I just wanted everybody to hear it from a Muslim's mouth that Muhammad
Okay.
did take Aisha. So while I look up the other one, you can play that song. That's
Okay.
and I
Islam
know
is
the
not.
author of the song, and he has they want to find them and kill him.
Oh, okay.
Tried to tell me my religion was wrong. They tried to tell me to follow Islam. They said their prophet was a righteous dude, but I found out none of their words were true. I read the Quran and I read the Hadith, and the sickness of Muhammad was apparent to me. He justified perversion in the name of Allah when he married a girl too young for a boy. She was playing with dolls when the prophet came. Her childhood was stolen in Allah's name. Aisha was 9 when he took her to bed. Don't tell me that fool's not sick in the head. Ain't gonna follow no child molester, sex offender, prophet pretender. Ain't gonna follow no child molester.
Islam's not for me. Islam's not for me.
The sickness of the Islamic mind
Has caused some mullahs to be blind.
to justify the prophet, they will justify sin. So the sins of the prophet are repeated again.
All over the world in Islamic states, 9-year-old girls suffer cruel fate.
Sold into marriage to twisted men, and Aisha's sad story is repeated again. Ain't gonna follow no child molester, sex offender, prophet pretender. Ain't gonna follow no child molester.
Islam's not for me.
Okay, I found the other video.
Do you care about women all over
Oh,
the
this is from
world?
Gaza right here. I remember Hamas did a big wedding for like 500 men, and look at the brides.
Sickening.
You care about those little girls.
Then stand up and fight for human rights. Speak out against the laws of Islam.
Ain't gonna follow no child molester, sex offender, prophet pretender. Ain't gonna follow no child molester.
Islam's not for me. Islam's not for me.
Islam's
Not for me.
Nice song, man.
Yeah, he wrote several songs that are online that are really good, similar to that. And they've been trying to find out who he is, but they'll never find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see the other one. Is this
Yeah,
one?
the other one is the timestamp is I think I put it in the-
47.
Yeah. And then you can also verify that the translation is accurate. So around 47:36.
Okay. Let me see if I'm not okay. I'm not sure. You okay, babe? Okay. Okay.
يعقد على حتى يمكن.
Are you saying that Muslims don't follow the teaching of Allah because it's disgusting? The question, do you see guys what
Okay.
الزواج قسمان. القسم الأولاني
You can remove the
عقد
that comment, that way people can see the
Oh,
words.
okay.
Yeah.
He likes this. Okay.
هذا شيء، والبناء يعني الدخول على الزوجة هذا موضوع آخر. فأما إجراء العقد فهذا أمر يعني ليس له سن معينة في إجراء العقد. يعقد على حتى يمكن أن يعقد على على فتاة عمرها سنة زمان، مش 9 سنين ولا 7 سنين ولا 8 سنين. هذا مجرد عقد إيجاب وقبول بين، بس الولي يكون هنا هو الأب لأنه ولي مجبر، فتصير زوجته. لكن هل الفتاة أو البنت محل للدخول أم لا؟ طبعا، وكم سن الدخول المناسب؟ هذا يختلف باختلاف البيئات وباختلاف الأعراف عند الناس. ممكن في اليمن كانوا يزوجوا من 9 و10 و11 و8 و13. في بعض الدول تزوج من 16. في بعض الدول أصدرت قوانين ألا يتم الدخول إلا بعد 18 عام. ولنا في رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قدوة حسنة، حيث عقد على زوجته عائشة وكان سنها 6 سنوات وبنى عليها، يعني دخل عليها صلى الله عليه وسلم 9 سنوات.
There you have it.
قلت 6 سنوات.
لا، عقد عليها وهي 6.
وتزوجها
يعني
متى؟
العقد في 6 والبناء اللي هو الدخول في 9 سنوات. ولنا في رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم
نعم
أسوة حسنة.
بس خليني أوضح شغلة بس.
ولكن طبعا
I'd like to hear what the reporter is going to say, if he's going to say
Okay,
anything.
yeah, that'd be good.
أنا سؤالي لك إنه واحد عمره 12 سنة، واحدة عمرها 11 سنة، هل هذا الزواج منطقي مجاز شرعيا؟
إذا كان الولي الأب، ما هو الولاية تنقسم إلى قسمين، يا يكون الولي هو الأب، فإذا زوج الأب ابنته على الرجل الكفء لها فهذا طبعا زواج صحيح. يعني في ظروف للناس، واحد رجل عنده بنتين 3 4 وطبعا يريد أن يسافر، لديه ظروف. طيب هل تضيع هذه وليس لديه محارم؟ أليس من الأفضل أننا نعقد لها على إنسان تبقى عنده حتى يصونها وحتى يصرف عليها، فإذا ما بلغت سن الدخول دخل عليها؟ وما قال أن الناس كلهم ذئاب كاسرة.
ما كان الإمام الخميني مقيما في العراق، هو مش إمام ولا حاجة، إمام في بتوعهم، كنا نتردد إليه ونطلب منه العلم حتى صارت علاقتنا معه وثيقة جدا. وقد اتفق مرة أن وجهت إليه دعوة من مدينة تلعفر، هي اسمها تلعفر كده مضبوط؟
نعم.
طيب، وهي مدينة.
Okay, this is I know this video and I like this video. This talks about Khomeini having sex with a 4-year-old girl all night, and the girl was screaming, and her father was there listening.
Yeah, yep.
Disgusting. Oh my goodness. But thank you for giving that video, because I've been looking for that video. I haven't found it in a long time. So
yeah, so there you have it, folks. Muhammad is the perfect model for the Muslims.
yes, perfect example.
His conduct is to be emulated and praised. And even if Muslims who oppose sexual relations between an adult and a child, they cannot condemn it, because by condemning it, they would have to condemn Muhammad's actions. So even though they themselves will not practice it, there is no way for them to condemn those actions without condemning their own Muhammad, their own prophet. This is a dilemma for any Muslim who has any bit of conscience left, that objects to any kind of sexual relations between an adult male and a young female, because their greatest example of humanity, Muhammad, engaged in such activities. It is disgusting, it's inappropriate, and it needs to be exposed so that they can repent of it.
Yeah, and the fact that the Quran justifies it too. I mean, it's not just the Hadith, it's not just Muhammad, but I mean, I've seen stuff where it says that the verse in the Quran was kind of after Muhammad already had done what he did to Aisha, and
it's sad because there is a hadith that or a narration that says that Aisha was already previously engaged before Muhammad. Yes. And the problem is that if we even give that up to the culture and the time, shouldn't a prophet of God rise above the culture, above the time, and not be influenced by and led to practice immorality according to the culture and the times. So that doesn't help the Muslims when they say, well, that was cultural, that was part of the practices. Well, we don't ever see the Christians or pre-Christians, people of God, ever being led into immorality because they practice what the culture practices.
Right.
In fact, that influence, when we see Lot, that's one of the times where we see the culture influencing him to the point of compromise, where,
Yeah.
right? And that came
Well,
out bad.
well, you know, the situation with his daughters, they had to get him drunk as a skunk to
Right.
do what he did. You know, I mean, he was not aware. He would
Right. It
not
wasn't
have
his
done
doing,
it.
it was the daughters who thought that
Yes.
it was the end of civilization and they needed to propagate the human race. So it wasn't a question of sexual deviance or perversion, it was a question of propagating humanity. So it had nothing to do with sexual gratification, it had to do with propagating the human race, which is very different than the Islamic concept of sexual gratification with children, with infants, and with pretty much everything from watermelons to dough, unfortunately. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Cola.
You're
I never
killing me
heard
with
you
this.
say that. Yeah. But you guys, you know, I just want to say something because I think some of my relatives may be watching, and some of my relatives are thinking Steve's gone off the deep end. He hates Islam. He hates Muslims. I just want to say, you guys, please, you know, forget me. This isn't about me. The reason I'm doing this is because of what Muhammad did and what the books say. This, if you are a Muslim or someone who is sympathetic to Islam, you know, are you sympathetic also to this? Are you sympathetic to what Muhammad did? You know, please understand that, you know what, I wanted, for me personally, I wanted to stop doing this a long time ago. I wanted to just forget this and just live my life and be good with everybody, but I couldn't. I couldn't. You know, the Holy Spirit wouldn't let me because He wants you to know the truth. Because there's so much lies about Islam, and now with Mamdani and New York Medina and all the stuff that's going on. You know what, you guys, we have to speak the truth. And even though this is something that's been spoken about so many times, you know, to where you almost forget it, but no, you cannot forget it. You can't
No,
forget
I
it.
mean, well, there's a biblical verse that says, faithful are the wounds of a friend, but deceitful are the kisses of an enemy. You might hurt them with the truth, but that's because you love them and you want them to come out of the darkness. If you were to just um, flatter them or not even deal with the issues within their religion and their culture, that's not loving, because you're leaving them in a state uh, that is, for instance, the Bible is very clear that God has enemies, and those are those of the kingdom of darkness. Anyone that is in opposition to the kingdom of God is an enemy of God. And if we don't warn people and tell them that there is a judgment coming, that's not loving. I remember speaking to a Mormon one time, and he wanted to walk away from me right away once he realized I knew a little bit more about Mormonism than he anticipated. And I said, hold on a second. You want to walk away from me because you feel a little bit offended by what I'm asking. I said, I am willing to stand here and tolerate any offenses you throw my way because I love you and I want to see you come to the truth. And I'm willing to tell you the truth and endure your either ignorant statements or deliberate antagonistic statements so that we can discuss them. But if you know that there is a judgment coming from your worldview that I'm going to suffer, do you not care about me enough to endure my ignorant statements from your perspective so that you can tell me the truth. And he stopped for a minute, and he did end up engaging in a lengthier conversation that he otherwise would have, because they need to consider that. What are we willing to endure for the sake of somebody else's soul if we really care about them? And Muslims that shut down too quickly because they're offended need to realize they should be able to endure more than they are willing to if they think we're going to end up in hell, or do they not care about us? And this is why we call the Muslims to come up and engage us and have a dialogue and try to give a defense for their worldview, and to try to convince us of the truth of it, if it is truth, and to hear us out, because we care about them and we want them to be in the truth.
Yeah, that's the truth, man. And thank you. Thank you for saying that. And
all right, brother, I'm going to jump out. I just wanted to share those clips.
Thank you so much, man. That was really good. In fact, I've been looking for that video for a long time, that one about Khomeini. And so I appreciate you sending that. So
okay, and I do have Khomeini's books. I just don't know how to. I'm going to have to get them to you so that you can verify the Arabic concerning the references, because I have 2 of his books, and I'm having a hard time with the internet regarding the accuracy of the translations and the references. So I'm going to pinpoint them, and then maybe we can discuss that another time.
you know what? You know, one thing about Khomeini is that he says it like it is. I mean, he was a disgusting person, slept with a 4-year-old girl. He said he justified babies. I mean, he says, yeah, as far as you go, as far as young as babies, And,
right. Well, there's a little green book. It's called The Sayings of the Ayatollah Khomeini, but people confuse that sometimes with the little green book by Muammar al-Gaddafi.
Okay.
And sometimes the references get mixed up, but the one by Khomeini, that contains the references, the title is The Little Green Book, Sayings of the Ayatollah Khomeini. I have it. I ordered it, and I think I ordered Gaddafi's book also, because I was getting confused with the references, and I haven't been able to fully confirm that those are exact quotes from the book. So this is where we're going to have to go to the Arabic one and confirm that the translations and the references are accurate.
Very good, man. Yeah, that'd be really great to do a live stream about that. Yeah, there's a commentary by him. It's called Kashf al-Asrar, the revealing the secrets. And the one thing I noticed about him, he tells it like it is. I mean, he doesn't try to whitewash anything. He just says it like it is, and it's disgusting, but he doesn't try to whitewash it, which others do. So that's one thing I've noticed about his hadith. There's always a little bit difference from like Ibn Abbas or Ibn Kathir, when you see. But the only thing is that Sunnis don't recognize him, because he's Shiite.
Right. Yeah, the quotes I have are from the complete. Actually, we might need Adam Seeker. Who speaks Persian? Because it's the complete Persian text of the sayings.
My wife speaks Persian.
Okay, there we go. Because it is it's called the Tari Los Vayesli.
Okay.
Let me put that in the chat for you. Copy, and I'll put it in the private chat just to see if you can pronounce it. This is a transliteration.
Okay. Well, Persian is a little different from Tahrir al-Vasila. Tahrir or Vasila. Vasila, I bet it means wasila, which is the communication. Tahrir
al-wasila, yeah.
What wasila, is like the means of communication. Tahrir means actual liberation or liberty, the liberation. tahrir, you know, or setting the liberating the means of communication in a sense, you know.
Right. Okay. So I'll post the full
Oh,
references for you.
excuse me a second. Say that again, babe. Uh-huh. Writing? Oh, okay. My wife says that tahrir means writing and communication. Wasila means communication.
Could it
Means.
also mean sayings?
Could it also mean sayings? Like his words?
Because that's the title of the book.
Babe? Okay, she's back.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it probably could. So man can
Okay,
have
but yeah,
sexual
it'll be
pleasure.
a good thing to explore and really get this stuff down to the nitty gritty so people can have access to it.
Oh boy, yeah. Yeah, boy, yeah.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, Muslims, if any of you are out there, come on up, defend your Muhammad. Brother
Okay.
Hussein is ready to give you some answers.
Yeah, you know this. I don't think I can. I don't know how to. Let me just 1 second. Let me see if I could. I just want. I just want to say, you know, as disgusting as this is,
Oh yeah, I
I
just
want.
wanted you have to have the quotes and the references to the books that
Yeah.
that it comes from.
Okay. I'm just going to actually. I'm actually going to show this
So it's 3
because.
different quotes, I think, but the references are there.
Yeah.
It didn't
So let.
separate them like I thought it would, but
Okay. That's cool. Let me see if I could. Oops. Okay. Um. You guys, this is why we have to talk about this. You know, and okay, let's see. Look at this. This is from Khomeini. A man can have sexual pleasure from a child as young as a baby. However, he should not penetrate. If he penetrates and the child is harmed, then he should be responsible for her subsistence all her life. The girl, however, would not count as one of his 4 permanent wives. The man will not be eligible to marry the girl's sister. Yay. The complete Persian text of this saying can be found in Ayatollah Khomeini in Tahrir al-Wasila, 4th edition. It is better for the girl to marry in such a time when she would begin menstruation at her husband's house rather than her father's home. Any father marrying a daughter so young will have a permanent place in heaven. Yo boy, yay, yo boy, yay. Yeah, but it is not illegal for an adult male to thigh or enjoy a young girl who is still in the age of weaning, meaning to place his between her thighs and to kiss her. Ayatollah Khomeini.
absolutely abhorrent.
Yo,
This
boy, yeah, yo, boy, yeah.
Islam will take a civilized man and bring him down to such base levels of inhumanity. It's whereas Christianity will take an evil man and make him a saint. There's a hey, is Adam Seeker in there?
Yeah, Adam Seeker is here. So,
Okay,
hello, Adam.
the murtad, the oh, I
Wait
don't
a
want to
minute.
start a fight, but
It's not a fight. It's not, you don't understand Arabic, okay? So, it's just like that's an issue that I have on my program a lot is mistranslation of Arabic. And so, I'm just very, very sensitive about that. And so,
yeah, we gotta have we should have a vote. We should have like a internet poll to see who the greatest murtad is and
it's not the
settle
greatest,
the issue
it's the favorite.
or the
Okay.
favorite. Yeah.
And just, you know, I've always told this joke about, what do you call it when Eve was looking for her husband? What do you call that?
Um,
What was
Huh?
she when she was looking for her husband?
She was needed a tire changed in her car, maybe.
He was an Adam seeker.
Oh boy.
يا بيي انت جاي هين مشان تعلمنا مشان تورينا.
Now, I wouldn't doubt if he's already verified these sources with the Ayatollah, anyways, and he could just
Yes.
so. Yeah, but I do
Hey,
have the books. I have the English translations of the Little Green Book and another source of the sayings of the Ayatollah.
yeah. If you have some of that, you just my wife speaks Persian and she reads and writes, and so she can. Hey, you guys, the number 2 is here. So, hey, Adam Seeker,
Alhamdulillah.
Oh,
how are
look, he's
you?
got
Alhamdulillah.
a new headwear,
Headgear.
headgear.
This is his.
MashaAllah.
This is his Ramadan headgear. So
I am no more a mortad.
It almost looks like the Dajjal with the one eye in the center.
Get stuck for Allah. Get stuck for Allah. Get stuck for Allah. Yeah,
hey, long time no see, man. How are you?
absolutely, brother. I am doing very well. God is good. I've been a little busy because of a lot of stuff, but that's
Yes.
life. That is
Yeah,
life.
but I've been watching a lot of your stuff, man. It's been really great, man. And today, in fact, I watched a little bit, and
Praise the Lord. Thank you so very
yeah,
much.
so praise the Lord that you're continuing to minister and to preach the gospel and stuff.
The
Hallelujah.
only thing is that New York is becoming Islamic Republic of New York, mashallah.
Well, the word for city in Arabic is Medina.
Mm.
And so I don't call it New York City anymore. I call it New York Medina, and it's unbelievable, man. How quickly the dominoes are falling there, man. And that Mamdani, it's like you thought, oh, this guy's gonna be, because he's a communist, liberal. But you know what? He's not. He is a Muslim through and through. And he doesn't go to the Catholic events. All these Catholic events, he neglected them. But he'll go to a mosque and speak about the hijrah and how that relates to immigration in New York City, inviting. It is insane, man.
Well, we shouldn't be surprised. Remember, we sometimes we speak about stealth jihad.
My dear friends and respected
Oops.
followers,
Oops,
respected.
excuse me a second here.
Yeah, brother, I put it down that I wanted to play it because that's what you were showing. But you have
Oh.
to tell people that you are going to put it up before you put it up.
Oh, okay. Sorry, man.
But
You
yeah,
want me to take it down?
no, please, let's play it. So whatever you were showing as text, now watch it from the book. Play it.
Okay. This is the book. It
Of
says
Ayatollah
there,
Khomeini. Of Ayatollah Khomeini.
Tahrir al-Wasila. This is the book. So
Guests, everyone that's on my page, peace be upon you all. All right, now, after we exposed the child raping in the books of Imam Khomeini, a group of people came out saying, no, this is not true, Tawheed is lying, these are not the books of Khomeini, trying to stick up for a absolute advocate for child raping. So how about I just show you the book. This here is Tahrir al-Wasila, and it's volume number 2, and published in the Islamic Republic of Iran. We'll take a look at the license of the book, published by the institute that publishes and spreads the teachings of Imam Khomeini. This is their email if you'd like to go and say thank you to them.
Mashallah,
These advocates for child rape. This is the book that I was forced to study in the Islamic Institute of Iran. This is the book of Sharia law. Come over here. The chapter of marriage, the ethics of conducting a marriage contract, marriage procedure, page number 255. Sharia law number 12. Clearly he rules. This is his verdict. لا يجوز وطء الزوجة قبل إكمال 9 سنين. It is not permissible to sexually penetrate the wife before she finishes 9 years old, whether it be permanent or temporary marriage. وأما سائر الاستمتاعات, as for other methods and means of sexual pleasure and entertainment, كاللمس بشهوة, like touching out of sexual lust and hugging out of sexual lust, والتفخيذ, thighing, which basically means folding the thighs of the underage girl and penetrating her thighs. All of these, كاللمس بشهوة, touching her, touching the baby girl with a sexual desire, sexual lust, hugging her with a sexual lust, and thighing her. فَلَا بَأْسَ بِهَا, there is no problem in that. فَلَا بَأْسَ بِهَا, there is no problem in that. حتى, even فَالرَّضِيعَةِ, even with the baby girl, newborn. رضيعة means the baby that is suckling, that is being breastfed, that was born yesterday. Even with the young 1 year old, 1 year old, 2 year old baby. What can you do with the baby? He tells you, you can thigh it, you can hug it in a lustful way, and you can touch it in its private areas. And he names it as sexual pleasures with this newborn baby. Then he says, وَلَوْ وَطَأَهَا قَبْلَ التِّسْعِ وَلَمْ يَفُضَّهَا, and even if this little baby, see this comma? It's not a full stop, it's a continuation of this. This baby, if she is penetrated, deflowered, before the age of 9, لَمْ يَتَرَتَّبْ عَلَيْهِ شَيْءٍ, there is nothing that could happen to the man as a punishment, nothing happens to the rapist as a punishment, غَيْرَ الْإِثْمِ, other than that rapist has sinned between himself and God. Which means there's no punishment, there's no imprisonment, nothing. He just sinned, a minor sin. Then he says, وَإِنْ أَفْضَاهَا, and if he does rape her, penetrate her, insert his male organ inside her, to the point بأن جعل مسلكي البول والحيض واحدا, to the point that he rips the passage between the vagina and the external side of the body. أو مسلكي الحيض والغائط واحدا, to the point that there are no longer 2 holes. Everything becomes one big hole because he has ripped the little baby in half. Then he says, حَرُمَ عَلَيْهِ وَطْءُهَا, then only can you refrain from raping the little baby. Then he says over here, وَيَجِبْ عَلَيْهِ نَفَقَتُهَا إِذَا دَامَتْ حَيَّةً, and if she remains alive, this little baby, if she remains alive, then you have to give her money. وَإِن طَلَّقَهَا, even if he divorces her, this little baby girl. Now, بل وَإِن تَزَوَّجَتْ بَعْدَ الطَّلَاقِ, and after this rapist has finished raping the little baby girl, and he pays her the money, and she goes to marry off another person, another rapist, who's a baby girl, marries off another rapist, بعد الطلاق على الأحواض, and then after she rapes this, she is raped once again by the new rapist. It says ويجب عليه دية الإفضاء, he needs to give her, this little girl, more money, the dowry, for taking her virginity. Other than that, she is an object that can be molested and raped and touched and thied, even if she's younger than 9. Why? Because لا بأس فلا بأس بها. There's no problem in that. Imam Khomeini, a sick human being. Goodbye.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
Wow. I remember seeing that a while back. I'd forgotten all about that. Oh my goodness.
Wow, can you send me that video?
Absolutely, brother. For the love of God, you really want that video?
No, I don't. I do not want it. I do not want it.
But I will send it to you because you will use it in a right manner. So yes, I will send it to you.
And that's the thing. I did a documentary behind the scenes with the Joe Schimmel. He did. He's a pastor
Oh,
in Simi Valley,
I like
and
him.
we went to speak to an older lady who had been fighting the porn industry for over 35 years. And the stuff that she was telling us behind the scenes, as far as the people involved in this evil, depraved world of child molestation and rape and slavery, and it's happening so regularly, and it's people you always think of some monster, some gross, grotesque animal that is doing these things, but she said no, it's judges, politicians, lawyers. It's these people you look
The Epstein.
to protect you that are the ones that are doing this stuff. And the way she found that out was that she had funding from the government to investigate pedophiles and all these. And all of a sudden, her funding was cut off, and she couldn't understand why. And then when she investigated it, she realized it was her investigation was leading to the people that from the government that were funding her. The very people that she was trusting to protect the children were the ones involved in these activities, and they realized she was doing too good of a job investigating, and it was leading back to them, and they cut her funding. And they wouldn't sue her because once you sue somebody, the records have to come out in court. Now you have to testify, and because they were afraid of that, they never sued her or did anything against her when she was making the accusations and names public and stuff. And that's the thing with Islam. We think the Muslims want to present their imams and their leaders as these great inspirations to follow and to emulate, and Muhammad as the greatest example for humanity. But in reality, they're the monsters. They're the ones that are allowing it and practicing it and protecting those that are doing it. It's horrible. It's horrendous.
But you don't understand the basic fact. This is Islam 101.
This is
Like
Islam.
it comes from the Quran, it comes from the Hadith. So they're not protecting their imams. This is what Muhammad said. This is what Muhammad did. Did he not do that with a 9 years old, rather 6 years old, the tying part, until she became a 9 years old? So at the end of the day, when you actually tell me that this is non-Islamic, from where? Like, where do you get this information that this is not Islamic? Where do you get this information that this has something to do with some people who are doing this?
Right. It's not the exception. It is the rule. This is what they do.
So they are not hiding themselves. Like they're it's written in their books, man. Khomeini is writing in his book because this is what Islam is all about.
This reminds me of, when that Muhammad Hijab had that hotel wife, and she went to all, and then after he marries her, he says, "Oh, this is just a, the misyar marriage, And she goes, "Well, you didn't tell me that before we got married, and everything." And so she went to all the sheikhs, to all the masajid, to tell them, "Look what he did to me." And nobody would help her. Why won't they help her? Because it's halal. Because it's permitted to do that. And it's the same thing with this. It's permitted. You can't correct it. Muhammad did
Absolutely. You can correct something which is wrong.
Yeah.
And that is why, when Allah says something that it is right, it is right. It doesn't matter. If Allah said have sex slaves, then have sex slaves. It's right. It's permitted.
Yeah, this is why I have an issue with these Muslims that go on these programs sometimes and try to pretend like they're reformed Muslims, as if they don't approve of jihad or child marriage and such and so forth. And I'm thinking, Islam is not something you can just rearrange the furniture and pretend that you can eliminate certain aspects of it.
Take it, or take this
Right.
and leave
You
this.
have to demolish the
cherry
entire
pick.
thing,
Yeah.
completely destroy it. You can't reform it. There is no reforming Islam. You are either a Muslim who submits to the will of Allah according to the revelation that his Muhammad provided, that is according to their testimony, or you're a hypocrite. And a hypocrite in Islam is worse than an infidel because you're doing more damage to their religion than somebody who never partook of it.
Yeah, being inside, you're kind of destroying it from inside. So, wow, dude, that
That is
that
why. That is why censorship is the most important thing in Islam. That is why you cannot question things about Islam. That is why they need to kill the murtad. That is why they need to remove all the vices that talks about Islam. That is why I have to hide my face. That is why all the murtads have been attacked in different parts of the world. I
You're
would say
causing
Steve
mischief.
is, yeah, I think Steve is very lucky in a way that he doesn't have any family member in the Islamic part of the world, and he can do a lot of things which anybody who has his family members in the Islamic part of the world is like, it's very difficult. It's not possible.
I do have family there.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
Yeah, I do have
Half of
family
the Middle
there.
East is his cousin, Habibi.
Oh,
Yes.
that cousins who wants to actually kill him, who comes on YouTube and they want to kill him. Oh, those cousins. Okay, I get those cousins.
Yes. I mean, yeah, it's Islam is Islam, no matter where and now that it's it looks like the Prince of Persia, that demon fell. It almost looks like people are leaving Islam, but in Iran. But you know what? He didn't really fall. He just moved. He moved to New York. That's where he is now. And
Yeah, he likes to
this
travel.
and the thing about Mumdani is that the problem isn't, or I thought it wasn't him, but judging by his actions, it may just be him. But what concerns me more is the people behind him, the people who want to use him. And he's not strong enough he's only 34 years old. He's a kid. And he can't withstand all that pressure, all that money, all of those influences. He can
Yeah, but
do a
then you have to
lot.
ask who's behind him and who is supporting him and influencing him and who's the ones that are really pushing the agenda. He's just
Yeah.
the poster boy.
Yeah. Yes, he is. But he's a very willing poster boy too. I mean, he really is. I didn't realize when one thing about him is that he doesn't really, he's not phony. He doesn't try to conceal what he is. All along he was this way, but now that he's mayor, I think it's coming out more, his anti-Christian feelings and his how radical a Muslim he is. He really is a radical Muslim.
Well,
And
that's the whole thing. You
Everyone is a
suppress.
radical Muslim. So anybody who actually follows Islam to the dot, you call them radical Muslims. Why do you even
yeah,
call them that? Why don't you
Right,
just
yeah,
simply
I
call them
agree with
Muslims?
you. Yeah, they're
yes,
just
Like,
Muslims.
like if somebody follows Bible, would you call them radical Christians? No, you would call them Christians. Like
Yep.
Christians,
why is it like every time somebody actually follows Islam, you call them radical Muslim? That's just
Yeah.
wrong.
same thing with the term where they call them
Moderate.
What's that?
The moderate.
No. They use that other term in Europe. They use it instead of saying like Muslims. They'll call the radicals another term. They'll call
Islamists.
them Islamists. That's it.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
what Islam? What is? It's the same thing as Muslim. There's no
It's
difference.
just someone who really follows the book.
Right.
Yeah, really follows the rules. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a tactic. It's a propaganda. It's a way, and the problem is that they're using all the liberals and the antichrists that are empowered. They're using them as useful idiots. The term useful idiots is where you use somebody for your purpose and they might not realize that they're being used and they go along with the program. But all of the non-Muslim antichrists, like the news media, the politicians, such and so forth, the police departments, the governors, all of these guys are just useful idiots for the Muslims. They're using our own laws against us. They're using them in a way where you're appeasing the alligator, thinking he's not going to eat you, but he's just going to eat you last. So once they're done with Saturday, they're going to go for Sunday, and then they go for the atheists. The atheists are not safe in the Islamic society. I don't know why they think they are, but they're not.
Because right now they are. Because right now they are using these useful idiot atheists to fight against Christians.
Right.
Because in the West, Islam was never there. So Christians were always talking to atheists and they were debating atheists. And they think, oh, we have a partner. And now we can actually refute Christians. They don't realize that Christians were having arguments and debates. When these Muslims are in power, that will be punches and guns.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did a study, and this is just my study, but like in the Middle East, when they have a homosexual, like Hamas and those guys, they throw them off of buildings.
The high peak.
Yeah, but I did a study, is this possible in New York City? And so I actually did a
Very
study
possible.
of like, if you throw someone off of the Empire State Building and they're like about 170 pounds, it takes about 6.5 seconds for them to hit the ground. And if it's from the Chrysler Building in New York City, it's about 5.5 seconds if it's 170 pounds. Now, if somebody's like 200 pounds, they actually hit the ground faster. So when they start
you
throwing
reach terminal
homosexuals,
velocity.
well,
But that's not the point how long it will take them to reach the ground. The point is when they actually touch the ground, do we have to use spoons to gather their body or can we use
A
spatula?
shovel, Habibi.
well, you know what? This is the thing about Mamdani. Mamdani's not big on cleaning streets. We can see, about the snow and about the garbage, the walls of garbage that he's leaving in New York City now. So I'm not trying to say what you're saying is irrelevant. Okay, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that I don't think that's a big priority for him.
No, that I understand, but still, I'm just thinking whether we will use a spoon or spatula because the body who's falling from that kind of a height with a terminal velocity,
Well, the
and
thing
when it
is
hits
also,
the ground, it will
well,
be shattered.
here's the question I have. Since Muhammad said throw the homosexuals, the effeminates from a high peak, and when he was going through his suicidal tendencies, he went to a high peak to hurl himself. Is he kind of telling us maybe he was on the softer side of the masculinity scale? Because he chose to go to a high place to throw himself, which was the punishment for the homosexuals. So I
But
don't know,
that was
maybe.
the time
well,
when he,
I think that's being a little bit narrow-minded. I don't, like I said, I'm not trying to be
he wasn't
cynical.
zootofied at that time,
I'm
brother.
I'm not trying to be cynical, but just because you like to uh, lift up your shirt and have guys kiss your belly all the way from top to bottom. I don't think that necessarily means that somebody is on the feminine side. Okay.
H-
That's
How,
just that's just my opinion. I think it's being a little narrow-minded. Okay. Yeah, but
Well,
that's
the Greek word for the effeminate is the malakos, the malakoi for the plural, a soft garment. And some of the things Muhammad says, like his sweat was like musk, his poop would disappear in the desert. It didn't stink. He did a lot of things that were very effeminate, very soft.
plus, like when he wore his wife's
Yeah, he
clothes.
wore his wife's undergarments, the
But
nightie,
it
the
it was
camise.
not in a perversion sense. It was because that's he wanted to get the wahi. He wanted to get the inspiration, and that's the way it came to him.
The
So
posture of their prayer, where you
it's
put
very spiritual.
you kind of, the way they bow down and put their took us into the air like the zut were ready to take you. I don't know. There's a lot of things with Muhammad that are very suspicious.
Very, yes. But
hey,
I
brothers,
just
do
wanted to
you,
say, I just want to say something about what Adam was talking about, about cleaning up when those people that are thrown off the buildings splat on the street. I just want to say that Mamdani has shown that he does care about law and order, because like the people who want to shovel snow in New York City now, they have to show 3 forms of ID to prove that they're American citizens, to be able to shovel snow in New York. So I think, Adam, I'm not 100% sure that if people wanted to clean up those people who splat on the streets, that they're going to they're going to have to be citizens. They can't be like illegal aliens. And so I'm just saying,
Habibi, they don't even ask you for ID
but
for
you
voting.
can vote without ID, but
Yeah,
yes, to
exactly.
shovel, you need 3
you
forms
can't
of
you
ID. You
can't
need
shovel snow.
Yeah,
No.
absolutely. I know that. I
Wow.
was reading about it yesterday. But brother, how good is your Arabic right now?
أنا عربيتي كثير كويس.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, Habibi. Can you please show up the Arabic screen?
Okay.
So this is Musnad Imam Ahmad and Ahmad bin Hanbal. You know that, right?
Yes.
So how about you read and translate for everybody?
Okay.
Yalla,
حدثنا
Habibi.
حدثنا وكيع قال. Okay, this person وكيع كهمسة بن حمزة. Okay, عن الفزاري عن أبيه عن بهي. Okay, just get to the red part. أستاذنا النبي أستاذنا النبي صلى الله. Okay, the prophet permitted us. فدخلت به بينه. Oh, I read this the other day. بينه وبين قميصه
Oh,
قال
the shirt.
فقلت يا رسول الله ما لا شيء
Ma man'a shay.
والذي لا يحل منعه قال الماء. This is when a guy came behind Muhammad and he entered between Muhammad's shirt or
His
his
camise.
gown and his back. And he was behind Muhammad. He was inside his gown behind Muhammad. And he says, "How far do you want me to go, Prophet of Allah, peace be upon you?" And he said, "Until the water." And just to quote Father Zechariah, because he was talking about this water, because it was in another hadith that talked about this water, and he
He said
said,
salty water.
it's not the water you drink, okay? This
Oh
is
boy.
men's water." And it says, قلت يا رسول الله ما الشيء الذي لا يحل منعه قال الماء. So he repeated it again, قلت يا
What is
رسول
wrong
الله
with
ما
this
الشيء
Muhammad?
الذي لا يحل منعه قال إن تفعل الخير خير لك. Okay, if you do good, it's good for you, but twice he says, go all the way until you get
No,
the
no, no. Do
water.
not go all the way. Stop. You
قلت يا رسول الله
Please do
ما
not go all the
الشيء
way.
الذي لا يحل منعه. He says, what is the thing that is
Haram,
not
Habibi,
permitted?
haram.
لا يحل منعه.
All right, so the problem here is why are you saying don't stop. Like the person is behind the shirt anyways, so his thing is already there. Like how can he stop in the middle, man? Like come on, why are you even saying stop? Like
How do you even
no,
start? That's my problem. You don't
he
go there.
allowed it. He went inside between the shirt,
The
his naked
first
body
word
between the
there,
shirt.
the first word is istadhanit, which means I got permission from the Prophet. Istadhan
Wow.
means I got permission from the Prophet, peace be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, to enter between him and his shirk. That's literally what it says. And
That's
the
not good.
English version, the English version is a little bit
Sanitized.
sanitized, but it's still filthy. But this right here, the Arabic is, yes.
Not to mention it. There are hadiths that say Muhammad was a very hairy man, kind of like a fur coat, and then the one man that kissed his torso out of retaliation.
Yes, he says, this is the
for
revenge
poking
I
him in the
want.
ribs. So I don't know what this Muhammad. He has a fetish for other men dominating him. It seems like because he's always in the receiving end. Sorry. Well, he is. He seems to be not the. He seems to take the role of the female in all these situations. He doesn't seem to be the dominant one. He seems to be the submissive one in all of these situations.
With the Zut, he was
right.
completely submissive. Yes.
All right,
Oh.
no, I'll show you the other one as well. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
he was the dominant one as well. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
إن رجل من أهل البادي كان اسمه زاهر وكان يهدي إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الهدية فيجهزوا رسول الله إذا أراد أن يخرج فقال رسول الله عليه وسلم إن ظاهر
This is
bad.
Zahir bin Haram, one of the girlfriend of Muhammad,
Okay, بديتنا ونحن حضره وكان النبي every time it says Nabi it has to say صلى الله عليه وكان دميما فأتى النبي okay يوما وهو يبيع متاعه فأحتضنه من خلف. Okay, so he hugged him from behind. Muhammad came to him.
Say
احتضنه means to hug him من خلفه, from behind him. وهو لا يبصر, and he didn't see him. فقال ارسلني من هذا. He says, send me from this.
What do you mean, send me?
So basically, he came behind Zahid bin Haram and he hugged him and put his hands on his face so he can't see.
Okay.
So Zahid bin Haram said, "Who's it?" And Muhammad said, "Guess who is it? Mahada."
Peekaboo.
And then he heard Muhammad's voice, so
He recognized the voice.
pressed his back to Muhammad. So now imagine
the word ألصق ظهره
Oh my
بالصدر.
goodness.
He put his back, his chest on his back.
Oh, that's the one where he pushed. Once he knew it was Muhammad, he got even more comfortable.
MashaAllah.
My goodness.
إن عرفه وجعل النبي يقول من يشتري العبد, who will buy the slave. فقال يا رسول إذن تجدني, if you find me.
So Muhammad was a giver and a taker.
قال النبي
Yeah, he was a giver at a very specific times to a specific person. The rest of the time he was a taker.
Yes,
Zahir bin Haram was one of his
Wow.
buddies.
wow. It says he literally pressed his
Mm.
chest against his back. You
Yep.
know, and
Yeah,
It's
but
the other way around. You have
that's
to read. He pressed his back on his chest, like it's the other way around.
oh,
So
the guy
Zahir is
pressed
doing
his
this.
back
Yes.
yeah, the
against
guy.
Muhammad's chest.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is the way it says it. Yeah, it's so dang. Yeah, but yay.
Mohammed was a very disturbed human being from childhood.
Ah, you are such a LGBTQ
Islamophobe.
hater. Come on,
I'm just doing a psychoanalysis of the man.
brother. You cannot be hater of the alphabet group.
No. I'm not hating. I'm just analyzing and giving the input.
Muhammad was the first alphabetic person, man.
Oh my goodness. He was disturbed from childhood. No
He was
father,
abused. Yes.
He was
abused,
abused as childhood. His
and he
uncle
became an
abused him.
abuser.
No, he wasn't
He
abusing. He was enjoying, and they were enjoying, and they were
no,
all
he
enjoying.
abused was it his nephew where he sucked on
No,
his
his nephew abused him. It's the other way around.
Oi.
When he was a young guy. So he was a nephew. No, he was abused by his uncle
Yeah,
when he was a
his
young
uncle.
boy at the age of 5 or 6.
He made
But
him sleep with him naked. Yeah.
yeah, not once, many times. And he said he was very soft and he was good smelling, but that's not the problem. So he was abused at a childhood, but when he grew up, he was comfortable doing all that.
Well, that's consistent with the pattern of abused children. They usually grow up to do the same thing to others.
But he wasn't doing it the same thing to others. He was just, comfortable doing that.
It became his normal conduct.
Exactly. And he
If
never grew up. Sorry?
Adam, if I could ask you because I'm looking at this. Okay, so the guy pushed his back into Muhammad's chest,
Mhm.
and then it says, and when he knew him, he said, Muhammad said, "Who is going to buy this slave?"
Mhm.
What's going on there?
They are selling and buying
Yeah, he
each
was a
other.
slaver.
Okay, so he's selling and buying slaves. So this was
No, but like this guy. No,
unrelated.
no, no. This guy is not a slave. He was a free
Yeah.
man, but he's referring to him as like it's my slave. You know what I mean?
So he
Okay.
can have a
Like
casual conversation while he's being perverse.
While he's doing this, because I'm just thinking that doesn't seem like
Multitasking.
love. It doesn't sound like love talk.
yeah, and then the guy said, "You will not find any worth of me." And then Muhammad said, but you are not worthless in the sight of Allah. For you are precious. For you are precious.
And Allah less to
That's like that's what the golem said. My
You are
precious.
precious, brother.
and
My
Allah
precious.
intervali. To
Oh
Allah,
my
you are
goodness, that's
valuable.
horrible. I can't.
No,
I can't.
they are doing
No,
love talk right
that
now. They are doing love talk.
yeah, that is love talk right there.
There's
Yes, to Allah, you are
not only love talk
valuable.
but business talk during love talk and during love business. It's
Well,
wild.
maybe he was a multi.
And who's recording this? Here's my question: who is there to record this activity? That it
Ans bin
becomes.
Malik. Rajal is Rajalus Sahih.
Who's
Hadith
at the
from
end of
Hashmi.
who's the
It's
beginning of the
Majmud
Isnad?
Zawaid. And it's stated in 5 different places.
And nobody objected. Hey, Mohammed, stop it! Don't do that.
Why
He pressed his back into his chest. That's not a way to say stop. That's kind of like saying,
Well, if you hear him say don't stop, meaning don't stop. Instead of don't stop, is don't stop. It depends on where you put the comma.
You really have to put the
men used
comma somewhere?
Well, Muhammad had no periods.
Oh, hey, have you seen the new case that was placed, lawsuit that was placed on the Californian doctor
Not sure.
by the LGBTQ group? So a guy went in for a surgery to become a trans woman. So he was made a trans woman. They cut off his thing and made a VJJ and everything and breast implant and everything. So he came back, or now she came back. He or she, okay, whatever came back,
Still a he. Yeah.
and he said like, "Where is my uterus?" The doctor said, "Oh, you can't have uterus. You can be like a female, but you cannot have a uterus." He's like, "That's not what I was told." Doctor
Oh
said, "You
my
came
goodness.
here to be a female. We made you a female. You have a VJJ. Now enjoy the banana in the VJJ." He's like, "No, I need to have a uterus."
No,
So
you cannot.
he put a lawsuit against the doctors for not giving him a uterus.
because he wants to get pregnant. He wants to have a
Yeah,
baby.
he can't have a uterus, and he's like,
No, you
"You didn't
can't.
give me uterus."
I bet you they're going to find a way to do that. Just wait.
The island of Dr. Moreau.
You know that this is in the Bible, Jesus says it's going to be as in the days of Noah. And one of the things about in the days of Noah, it talks about this genetic thing that happened because it says that the sons of God came down to the daughters of men and they had sex with them and they had these hybrids that are half angel, half human, the Nephilim. And that was one of the reasons that God judged the earth is because of this genetic malfunction.
An
And
abomination.
yeah, and all this stuff that's going on right now is like that. I mean, they're messing with nature now,
Well, there's a
And
guy in the UK. He wears like a sandwich board with a sign that trans women are not our men or something like that. And he records a lot of cases where there's regret and but it's too late. They've already mutilated their bodies and now they're realizing that it was the wrong decision. But they were influenced by their parents, by the culture, by the school system, by the society, and they're very regretful. But it's too late. You mutilated your body. There's no going back from that. And
did
so
you
there's a lot
watch
of
the state?
psychological issues.
Did you watch the State of the Union today?
No, I didn't.
President Trump brought a girl who was told by her school that she's a guy, that she's a boy, and they were going to do the operation and everything. And then she ran away and was confused, and they put her in a boys' home because unbelievable story. But
Wow.
she came back to her senses, and she's a girl now, and she's going to Liberty University and everything. And so President Trump introduced her and told her story. And he said, "Look at what they're doing to our kids in the schools." I mean, it's a great moment of the State of the Union today when he said
Wow.
that.
Well, in Islam, you have the shaitan is a hermaphrodite. So on one thigh,
Yes.
he has the male part, on the other thigh, he has the female part. And then he produces eggs with 70 little shaitans that are born.
Yes.
So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make males, females, females, males, and confuse the whole situation. And that's unnatural. It's not the natural order of things.
Sin against nature, an abomination.
Yeah.
Wow. Were you wanting to show this other video here too, Adam? Hello, Adam?
He fell asleep.
Oh, I was speaking on mute. I said it's about woman and Jannah,
Okay.
if you want to show it.
Okay.
ما شاء الله.
هذه العلاقة شيخ محمد في الجنة كيف تكون سواء مع الحور العين أو مع المؤمنات التي دخلن الجنة؟
والله عز وجل قال حور عين، وهي المرأة الشابة الحسناء الجميلة البيضاء شديدة سواد العين في شدة البياض التي يحار الطرف فيها من رقة جلدها وصفائه.
But brother, I don't like black eyes. I like blue eyes. I don't want to go to Jannah anyhow.
صفاء لونه، وكما قال الله كأنهن بيض مكنون، العيون واسعة لم يطمثهن إنس قبله ولا جان، أبكار عربا أترابا متحببات لأزواجهن في سن واحدة، خيرات خيرات حسان في الأخلاق والوجوه، كأنهن الياقوت والمرجان في اللمعان والصفاء والنقاء والبياض، كأمثال اللؤلؤ المكنون، مثل صفاء الدر في الأصداف لم تمسه الأيدي، كل واحدة منهن يرى مخ ساقها من وراء لحمها من الحسن. هذا الجمال الباهر باهر ما في الدنيا.
You know what's amazing to me is that this guy has memorized every detail of these women.
وين في الدنيا من هذا؟ وإذا كانت الواحدة من نساء الدنيا تجلس أيام وليالي يعني في الحيض والدم والنفاس و40 يوم وعرضة للاستحاضة والأمراض، نساء أهل الجنة أزواج مطهرة، لا أذى ولا حيض ولا غائط ولا بول ولا نخامة ولا مني ولا ولد. وكذلك فإن الله سبحانه وتعالى نقاهن من كل أذى وريبة ومن الأدناس والمكاره، لا في الشكل ولا في الطباع، فما في طباع ذميمة ولا في غير قاتلة ولا في حقد ولا في حسد، وليس هناك جشع ولا طمع، مقصورات.
ما شاء الله ما شاء الله. See, these are the qualities of the female of Jannah.
في الخيام محبوسات لأجل الزوج، ما في طلوع وخروج، إذا جاء وجدها. لا يمكن.
This is the most important point.
يمكن واحد في
I just want to say that these are slaves. These are sex slaves.
Oh yeah.
All they are is sex slaves.
They are sex slaves, but check this out. This is what I wanted to show.
محبوسات لأجل الزوج، ما في طلوع وخروج، إذا.
Pause.
Okay. Yeah, pause. Keep it pause. This is the most important point. Okay. They are restricted to their tents, locked up for their husbands.
Yeah, but
so you said it right. They are slaves.
Wow. So there's slavery. Women are slaves in heaven.
Exactly. They are restricted to their tents. I mean, their houses or whatever.
To the corner
for their
of
husband.
the tent.
Not the corner. Like it's not a tent. It's a big house. Like the translation is wrong. So it's a big house that you have in Jannah. They cannot get out. They are locked up for their husbands. Like there's no such thing as going out for them. Whenever you come back home, you will find your wife or your virgin hoor waiting for you. They are literally sex slaves in Jannah. So all of the properties that he described are for these women who are locked up in their houses. So as soon as the husband comes back in, he will find them there.
I don't know, because
where else should they be?
Go ahead. You know, if you read the other hadiths about the sexual encounter, it says that each encounter is like 10,000 years. The orgasm is like 70 years. And, you know, it's like, so each, you know, you got, if you're being conservative, you're going to have 4,901 of these women, because there's 72, but each of those 72 have another 72 with them. And so that's, you know, it comes out to about 4,900. And if you spend 10,000 years with each one of these, we're talking millions of years to get through this whole, you know, 4,901.
No. Hold on. Please stop. Pause. Take a time out.
Okay.
You will have one intercourse for 1,000 years.
Okay.
Right? That's what you said. One intercourse for 1,000 years.
It's 10,000 years each time.
No, that was 1,000 years, not 10,000. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Sahih Hadith is 1,000 years. Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay. So imagine humping like a dog for 1,000 years. That's a punishment in itself, buddy. Like, like how is this enjoyment? It's a it's a punishment in itself. Like you are humping like a dog for 1,000 years. Please tell me how is this enjoyable?
Well, it got them. These guys, I mean, just watch the videos where the guys are talking, the sheikhs are talking about it. It's just like, it's like, whoa. It's like the sheikhs are just about, jumping out of their skin. They're so excited about it. But you know what I heard the other day, and this is from Father Zechariah, is there is a source, and I think I showed it with I think Truth Defender was watching when I showed it, that there's this one source that says how many what is going to be your reward for fasting Ramadan on the third day of Ramadan. The first day you get the zillion things and all this, but on the third day you get you're going to have domes in Jannah, and how many domes are you going to get? They're based on how many hairs are on your body. And they say that there's about 5 million hairs on everybody's body. And so you're going to have 5 million domes. Well, each one of those domes has 24,000 houses in it. Each one of those 5 million domes has 24,000 houses in it. And each one of those houses has 1,000 beds. And on each bed is a woman. And so you got 1,000 women in 24,000 houses in 5 million domes. It's like it gets into somebody did the math. Houston Euler did the math. Is 124 quadrillion women that you're going to have in paradise. And if each encounter lasts 10,000 or 1,000 years, it's just like,
So they're being punished for being in Jannah. By the way, can you please show the tafsir?
Okay.
It says, indeed, today the inhabitants of the paradise are busy. Read fi shogalin or fi shogalin. Obvious to what the inhabitants of fire are suffering. Opposite to that, they are suffering. Busy delighting in the pleasures such as deflowering virgins. Not busy with anything wearisome, as there is no trial in paradise. Rejoicing blissfully is a second precipice of inna, the first being fi shugalin, as in busy. So people will be busy in deflowering virgins.
Well, what else are you going to do with an eternal erection? If that's because even when they stand before Allah, they have this going on. Even his wife said, well, isn't that embarrassing, basically? And she said, oh, they're going to be too focused on Allah to worry about the standing in front of Allah naked with the eternal erection. But they got to do something with it.
You see, that's a very Western European viewpoint, of utilitarianism.
It might as well be like a horn on a deer if it's eternal. What is the purpose of this thing being eternally erect? It doesn't. It's like a horn. There's no. What else are you going to do with it?
Brother, it will not be. It like imagine if it is erected for 1,000 years. Man, it's like
they get no break.
Yeah, it's like they're actually in pain. You do realize that.
There's a medical condition about that, and I won't look. I've researched it before, but I won't do it tonight. But yeah, there's a medical condition. And it is painful. It is not pleasurable. It's to have that kind of a condition is not good. That's not a blessing. That's a curse.
Can we see the rest of this video here?
Oh yeah, bring it up.
يجوز إذا جاء وجدها. لا يمكن واحد في الجنة يجي البيت ما حصل زوجته. والله سبحانه وتعالى قال يعني وصفهن بأنهن قاصرات الطرف فلا تنظر إلى غير زوجها أصلا. العين لا تمتد إلى غير الزوج. وكذلك فإن هذا النعيم يعني من جهة الوصول إليه يعطي الله قوة فيه يعني يعطى.
نعم والعياذ شيخ محمد يعني كما أشرت أنها عينها في زوجها فقط لكن حال اليوم لا يعكس ذلك.
لا
Like, look how tempting he is when he's asking this question. Oh, man.
الزوج في زوجته فقط ولا الزوجة في زوجها فقط إلا من رحم الله. يوجد من الأتقياء الأنقياء من لا يتعدى بصره زوجته. ويوجد من التقيات البارات الطيعات من لا يتعدى نظرها زوجها. لكن يعني صارت الآن في الأسواق والأشكال والأفلام صار النظر مطلق. الإنترنت أهل الدنيا شوف حتى في الوصول لهذا النعيم في فرق كبير. يعني أهل الدنيا في وصول الرجل إلى زوجته يكسل ويتعب. الجنة يقول عليه الصلاة والسلام يعطى أحدهم قوة 100 رجل في المطعم والمشرب.
ما شاء الله ما شاء الله ما شاء الله. You will have the power of 100 men to perform this beautiful act.
This is unbelievable, man. I have this one video I want to show. This is an Egyptian TV host.
في الآخرة أول ما بنموت مفيش أعضاء تناسلية ولا أعضاء إخراج. مفيش براز مفيش بول. أنا بتكلم أهو بقى بتفاصيل التفاصيل علشان الحتة دي عاملة مشكلة وكله.
You know, what this guy says, and it's shocking. This guy's very famous in Egypt. And he says, once we get to paradise, we're not going to have the sex organs. There's no more sex organs. There's no sex in heaven. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be like watching TV. You're going to be playing checkers with these.
Well, that's like a Barbie doll. They don't have the parts.
No, they don't. And this is what this guy says, and he's serious. He says, once you get to heaven, there's no sex organs. There's no more sex. And you're thinking, what the heck? All these women, all these years, all these shaheeds who died.
Weren't some of the jihadis putting cinder blocks in their to protect their private parts when they blow up so they can have them in Jannah?
I've heard of that. It is. So,
but like once you deflower one, she's deflowered, so you have to have eternal, unless Allah have.
Well, Allah makes her back to a flower.
Yeah, He revirginates her.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's true. That is Quran chapter number 56, verse number 36. But my question is, when you have trillions and trillions of females, you know, Allah's hospital is pretty slow. Because, you know, she'll be made virgin, but her time will come after trillions of years.
But the thing is, Adam, you're being a little bit, you got to think of you got to remember, you got to think holistically, okay? First of all, he's going to be with this woman.
It's, brother, I'm so sorry. I beg your pardon. It's not holistically. It is HOLE, holistically.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, now you can say that.
So, you know, he's going to be with this one lady for 1,000 years, okay, for that one encounter. And then he's going to go to number 2, then number 3, number 4, number 5. You know, she's got like
and then he can go to the market and jump into the
go to the hospital and be revirginated. So it's not, I mean, I think that particular clinic or hospital that she's going to go do this revirgination, you know, that there's going to be enough time.
No, she cannot get out of the house. So Allah is going to come into her house.
Well, I think the doctors there do house calls. I really think that.
And there has to be female doctors because at the end of the day, she cannot gaze upon a male doctor. It has to be a female doctor.
But how is a woman going to go learn how to be a doctor if she can't go out of the tent?
That is so logical, and that is Allah said that Allah is going to make them virgin again. So Allah is the
That
doctor.
is Allah is He's the one who's going to do that. So
You have the wives, you have the huris, you have the young boys, and then you have the pictures in the marketplace that they can jump into.
yes,
And then they have to
busy,
stand
man.
before Allah naked.
Uncircumcised and barefoot.
I'm
Forget that.
uncircumcised and barefoot.
Don't forget that.
And Muhammad is very, because the Quran is a book of great detail. It tells everything. And Muhammad was very detailed when he spoke about this. He says that people are going to be looking at each other's private parts.
No, but like Allah is going to speak with the private part as well.
Sorry.
No, Allah is going to speak with the private part. How can you forget that part? Allah has to bend down and speak with the private part of each and every man and a woman.
It's in there, huh?
Uh-huh. Okay, it's in the Quran. Jaluduhum. Hold on. Let me. Allah is going to speak with the private parts, as in plural. Come on, brother. How can you forget that? So this is Astajibu in Zikr al-Faruj. So this is Tafsir Nurul Burhan. And what happened is somebody asked him about Jalud in the verse of the Quran. And let me just bring it up. Give me a second. It's not loading. It's taking its due time. So give me a second. Man, what happened to this website? Give me a second. The website is not running.
Oh. It's al-julud? Because I looked up that word in the Quran.
Yeah, well, Jalud. I'm gonna give it to you, my friend. I'm here, Allah speaks with the private part.
I know he breathes into it.
He speaks with them as well. At the end of the day, because he has to ask them, where did you go? Which hole did you penetrate and all that? So
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Muslims, where are you at to defend this stuff? You're gonna let Adam Seeker and Brother Hussein give all these narrations without any rebuttals. Where are the Muslims to defend their Muhammad, their Islam, their Allah, their Quran, their Hadiths? Surely they can't be telling the truth about Islam tonight. This has to be fabrication. They must have a disease in their heart. So I hope there are some Muslims out there that can clarify all this information.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe this stuff.
Is it?
There's
really.
a bunch of verses that have the word al-julud in it.
I'm giving it to you, my friend. I am
here.
here.
Oh, did you give it to me here? Or
I'm just relax. Take a chill, my friend. Take a chill.
Chill.
Take a chill pill. There you go. Now bring that one up. Okay. So let me just zoom in a little more. Okay. All right. Now read. Fakal.
قال يقعد معه على سريره. He sits with him on his bed. ويغفل بيده. يغفل. I'm not sure what that word means. يغفل. He's doing something with his hand. Does he cover him with his hand?
I don't know. We forget that. Wakala bazuhum. And then some said, Salat ma aza al-Baghdi fakulta. ilah wajha,
إله وجه.
fakal naam, hatta adata jami al ada. Oh no, this is, does Allah has a face?
Okay,
مجھے لگتا,
وجه. إله
this is a different one.
وجه.
Min anfi wafahum wasadri wabatni. That he has the nose, he has the chest, he has the button. Wa
Stomach. Yeah.
astajidu ay azkar al faraj. And then he said, does Allah has a private part? Fa uati ila faraji, or a female private part. Fakala naam, he has a private part. Fakulta azkar unsi, is it like a male or a
Male
female?
or female?
Fakala zakar, Allah has a male
Male.
private part, brother.
Wow.
Wait, what?
Allah has a male private part.
Ya yay, Habibi.
Allah has a male private part.
But it cannot be like anything in creation. So what kind of if
Allah has a
is
private part, brother. Allah has a private part. And then, and that's a male private part, by the way. And then Allah speaks with private part. Sorry, I gave you the wrong website over there. So
wow.
Allah speaks with the private part as well. This is Quran chapter number, Surah Fuzilat, verse number 20. And
You
it
mean
says,
speaks like
speak. Let's read it. Let's read it. هذا الموضوع الفروض ذكر من قال حدثنا ابن حميد قال سنا يعقوب سكر عن حلق رجل من سكر وقولوا لجلودهم لم شهدتم علينا إن أن أغني فروجهم.
Brother Hussein, you have to keep Brother Adam accountable. Is he fabricating information or is he
No,
reading?
that's what it says, but it is weird.
Why did you testify against us? It refers to their private part, but it is expressed metaphorically. So Allah speaks
No,
to
no,
the
no,
private
not
part
metaphorically.
Not metaphorically. Yeah, in the next one. So he says the jalud here is private part. So now Allah is not speaking metaphorically. He's speaking literally.
Skins are their private parts.
That's
Yeah, 'cause
disturbing, Habibi.
the word
Allah-
jild in Arabic means skin. It literally means skin. Jalud is the plural with skins, you know. But here
And
it's
their
actually
skins
saying,
are their private parts.
yeah.
So it could be referring to the foreskin. Maybe he's uncircumcised
That's what I
Allah.
was thinking, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Wow.
Allah is going to speak with their private part, with their faruj. Faruj.
Jaludhum el
So when
furuj.
Allah spoke the Quran, did he use
Even
his
man.
mouth or his private part?
Does it matter?
What is that verse? It's from what surah?
This is Surah Fuzilat, verse number 20. And this
Okay.
is Tafsir at-Tibri.
Because I want to look at what the Quran next says about this. Say that.
Brother, you can't make these things up.
Okay, who is this Al-Tabari? We should respect what he says.
Somebody, yes.
At-Tibri is the most highly respected earliest scholar of the Tafsir writer ever. He wrote the Tafsir at-Tibri.
Very, very highly respected historian.
As well. He wrote the history of at-Tibri about Muhammad and Hassan and Hussein all the way down there. By the way, Ar-Razi says the same thing. Qurtubi says the same thing. Ibn Jurayr says the same thing.
So the consensus is that Allah can speak from his private
Not can,
part.
will speak
Will
with
speak.
the private part at the day of judgment. He wants to know, hey, where did you enter? Did you
Yeah.
enter after you marry or did you enter adulterously? So he's going to bend down. Allah is going to bend down on his knees and speak with the private parts.
That's a horrifying. This is terrifying.
It says right here, Hatta iza ma ja'uha shahida alayhim. They testify against themselves. Sam'ahum wa absarahum wa jaluduhum. Their hearing will actually testify against them, their speaking will testify against, and their jaluduhum will testify against themselves. That this is what we did because of this guy. So Allah is going
Wow.
to ask for the testification from the private parts.
Oh, you know what? I've read this and I never thought about it in wow, mind blow. That is crazy. Because now that you read the whole thing, I remember reading it before. I didn't
This
realize
is
that's what
this
it
is
was
the
meaning.
Quran verse. Now Tibri is explaining what jalud is. Jalud is farouch.
Oh my goodness.
So
You know what?
Allah,
You know what? I'm just want Ibn Kathir says about this verse. He says that on that day their skins are going to testify against them, and it says Allah has caused us to speak. They will say Allah caused us to speak, and He causes all things to speak. He created you the first time. But then it says, the messenger of Allah laughed and smiled. They asked him, why did you laugh? Oh, messenger, why did you laugh? And he says, I was amazed how a servant dispute with the Lord on the day of resurrection. And I'm just thinking he's making he's just making this stuff up like he's drunk. He's drunk and
Yeah,
making
he
this
knows
stuff.
it's madness. This is
And
madness.
he's laughing. He's just laughing because it says
imagine the guy is bent down and he's speaking from his anus. Sorry, I mean his anus is speaking. What if while Allah is speaking with the anus, Allah bent down and speaking with the anus, and the guy is bent down? What if he farts at that time?
Well, that's just oh no,
And
this
and
is
imagine they are butt naked.
like Sergeant Butt Naked in Africa.
I have no idea about that guy, but
He was a military rebel that would fight completely naked on drugs, and he believed that while he was fighting butt naked, he could not be harmed with the bullets. And supposedly he became a Christian, but some people question that because of some things he's done. But he was known as Sergeant Butt Naked.
mashallah.
this is hilarious, man.
Wow. No, this cannot be the case that Muslims actually have they wrote this down. This is part of their literature about their
When did
God, their religion, their Muhammad. This is their deen. This is their religion.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking at Ibn Abbas, and you know what? I want to see what Ayatollah Khomeini
You
says
have to
about
read
this.
it in the Arabic. In English, they won't translate it.
That's the problem. These
Well, Allah didn't
tafsirs.
teach everybody Arabic. That's the problem.
That's why they can hide it from you. So this is better. I just opened that. I found the Wayback Machine to open my other link where Allah has a male private part. Please bring it up.
So then it makes sense because the creation, the womb reached up and grabbed Allah by the loins,
Yeah.
and Allah
فقال
screamed.
بعضهم, and some said, Alama haka min abdil hadith, salata mazali bani fakulta, ilahu wajha, does Allah has a face? Faqala naam, yes. Hatta adatan jamil ada, until he completely pronounced each and every aza of the body parts.
Okay, I did it, all the
Minal
parts
anfi, wa fahum,
from
wa
his
sadri,
nose,
wa
mouth,
batani, mouth, chest,
stomach, chest.
وَأَسْتَجِيتُ أَيْ الذِّكْرَ الْفُرُوجِ. Then he asked about the private part. فَأَوْمَاتِ بَدِي إِلَى فَرَجِ. Does Allah has a private part? فَقَال نعم. Yes, Allah has a private part. فَقُلْتَ أَذْكُرُ أُنْسِي. Does Allah has a male penis or a female private part? فَقَالَ ذَكَر. Allah has a penis.
Okay, is this available in English anywhere?
No.
Okay, it needs to be, because we need to ask Muslims about this question, about Allah's parts.
Okay, so you can actually take a screenshot of the Google Translator.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Does he have a face? He said yes, until I counted all the organs: nose, mouth, chest, abdomen. I was too shy to mention the genitalias. So I gestured with my hand to my genitalia. He said yes. I asked, is it male or a female? He said male.
non-binary.
No, male.
Well, there you go, folks. Allah is actually a male, has genitalia. Not only did the womb reach up and grab his loins, but he can actually speak through his genitalia.
And you do realize that this genitalia, male genitalia, actually produce semen.
Oh.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna fall from the throne.
And
That's
Allah is
right. It
saving the
rains
semen
down.
in the sack. Allah is saving the semen in the sack. You
Right.
know?
Yo, boy, yay.
But he doesn't have a girlfriend.
فقال فيرسل الله ما من تحت العرش كمني الرجال. Allah has a sack under his throne in which he is collecting all the semen of semen like a man. That he will
Oh
shower.
my.
So he has a private part. That's how he has a semen sack. Otherwise, how can he have a semen sack?
So then if he had a consort, he could produce offspring.
Absolutely.
He needs to go on a dating app.
No, he does not. He said if he wanted one, he could have created
He
it from
could.
himself. But
Well,
he wants to enjoy using his own hands.
creating one and actually producing one through his sperm is two different things. He just
No, he
needs a
can
girlfriend.
create one. Yeah, he can create one girlfriend for himself so that he could enjoy. But he wants to use his own hands. He wants to feel self-sufficient using his hands.
It says that he would, if we wanted lehu, he would take it from himself.
Himself. He could have created it from himself. So yeah, but he wants to be self-controlled.
Wow.
He wants to use his hand. By the way, there was a guy called Ibn Taymiyyah. He actually writes in the book. He said using a watermelon or a dough of
We just dealt
flour
with this.
is more easy than using your hands. So you can use them.
Yes.
Or the
We just
dough
read that
for a pizza.
yesterday.
Pizza dough.
Mashallah.
Zechariah. So yes, it was
Or a slave, or a underage slave girl. Her hand.
you know, the first program I ever did with Father Zechariah, it was 3 hours long, and we used to be in a garage for a studio, and for 3 hours, my first show that I did with him, and it was live, and it was about these watermelons. And he was reading the verses about the water. I was dying laughing, because I had to ask him the questions and he would answer them. And people were calling to ask about these watermelons, and it was hilarious, man.
These watermelons are so good.
Well, it depends on where you get them.
Well, it talks about how to cut them for.
And a female can use a cucumber.
If it's wrapped in leather, no?
Nope. She can just use a cucumber.
Okay.
It's better to use a cucumber.
I think I have it right here. It says
Bukhari Volume 6, Chapter and Sever Your Ties of Kingship, 4830 says, narrated Abu Huraira, the Prophet said, Allah created his creation, and when he had finished it, the womb got up and caught hold of Allah, whereupon Allah said, What is the matter? But some of the narrators say that the womb caught him by the loins.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
So no
So,
question about it. Allah has
so
private parts.
yeah.
My goodness.
Let me show you this beautiful thing as well. You might like it. So first do the watermelon thing. There you go, brother.
The watermelon issue.
Yeah.
Well, it's a
Ibn
good thing I
Qayyim
don't like
continues
watermelon.
this
So.
discussion with exemplifies the moral exposed by Sunni. If a man makes a hole in the watermelon, or a piece of dough, or a leather skin, or a statue, and have sex with it, then this is the same as what we have said about other type of masturbation, i.e., they are halal in the same circumstances given before, means when you are in journey or alone, etc. And then he said, in fact, it is easier than masturbating with one's hand. He has good experience on that.
Yeah, it's amazing how the wisdom, the wisdom and the practicality. This is someone who knows what he's.
He's
Get
talking
a
about
hold of yourself, Brother Hussein, as
if
Hatun
a
Tash would
woman
say.
does not have a husband and her lust becomes strong, then some of our scholars says it is permissible for the woman to take a kranjabi, which is a leather piece of leather worked until it becomes a shape like a penis,
Right.
and
Yeah,
insert
that's what
it
I
in
was reading.
herself. She may also use a cucumber. That will be
Oh,
easy.
okay, right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Please just leave this for a second. This is a screenshot. So
You see, this is the difference I was talking about with what happened with Lot and his daughters and the Islamic concept of sexual gratification. Lot was made drunk by his daughters, and they simply wanted to propagate the human race, whereas within Islam, it's about sexual gratification. They're trying to enjoy the pleasures of sex, relieve themselves, versus simply wanting to propagate the human race. So when Muslims bring up Lot or Moses, his son looking at him while he was asleep and he was uncovered, they're being dishonest in the context. Islam is about pleasure, pleasure in a carnal way, whereas the Bible doesn't teach that. The Bible teaches within the marriage, yeah, the bed is undefiled. A husband and a wife can have their pleasure. But Islam goes beyond that, and it just simply wants to satisfy the desires of the male, no matter where it comes from. A goat, a watermelon, a piece of dough, a slave underage girl's hand,
By the way,
you
sorry,
name it.
but the watermelon should not be a Muslim watermelon. I will prove it to you. There are Muslim watermelon and non-Muslim watermelon. I'll prove it to you. But hold on. You
well,
said if a man,
no, I know about this because some watermelons haven't taken shahada.
and they were
Oh
not
boy.
sweet to Ali and the followers of Ali. That's why they are not a Muslim watermelon. I'll show it to you. I'll give it to you, bro. If a man is torn between continued desire of releasing it, and if the man does not have a wife or he has a slave girl, but he does not want to sex with her, not marry, then a man is overwhelmed by the desire and he fears that he will suffer because of this.
He will explode.
Yeah, then it is permissible for him to masturbate. And Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal is explicit on this. Furthermore, it is narrated to the companion of Prophet used masturbate while they were on military expedition. They used to masturbate while they were on military expedition. MashaAllah.
Mm-hmm.
So Maula Ali in Shia Islam said that watermelons who does not taste sweet are not Muslim watermelon.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
So
That's discrimination.
no, he said that. Let me Just open it from the Wayback Machine because it is not opening regularly. So let me just do that.
Wow. So there is a test for the proper watermelon for the purpose.
Mashallah, yes.
But how can you know? You have to taste it first, though, to know.
Well, when you make the penetration for you. This is wrong.
Brother.
Habibi, this cannot be right. This is absolutely wrong. 100% wrong.
Okay, Wayback Machine is not working. Give me a second.
You have halal watermelon and you have
Haram.
haram, depending on the sweetness.
Basically, they have to be sweet for the
proper work.
For the Shias, sorry, for the Mola Ali. This is the hadith of Al-Kafi, and ShiaOnline.com is not running somehow. We have a Houston, we have a problem.
Is it this one?
No, I'm trying to open it again. Give me a second if I can find it. Al-Kafi, Sheikh Al-Kalbi.
Oh, Al-Kafi. I'm reading Al-Kafi at the moment.
You are?
I really appreciate.
I got volume 1. I'm going through it.
I really like Al-Kafi, especially because it deals so intelligently and articulately about men's shoes.
About men's shoes.
Yes. Because it says that, if you wear yellow shoes.
Oh, I was going to say the yellow shoes.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
And
I'm still waiting for Muslims to come up. I know they're watching. I know they're listening. And if not tonight, take notes about the information you're hearing and come back tomorrow and let's have a good discussion.
Really? That's
Well,
what you're going to tell them?
If they want, I mean, it's an open mic.
Is it?
Well, it's up to Hussein. I'm just a guest. He's the host.
So apparently Shia Online is not working right now. I'm sorry, guys. I can't show you what I said, but
how's Shia Online not working? Hit it with the hammer.
I have no idea. I need to. Mola Ali threw the watermelon out. He just literally threw it out. He's like, "This is not a Islamic watermelon. This is not a Muslim watermelon." So he just threw him out. Like, this is a bad
so basically the thing is this: when the Muslims are going on the Hajj and they're sexually frustrated and they think that their private parts are going to explode and they want to relieve themselves, Muhammad and his Allah allow them to use different means by which they can relieve themselves, which include watermelon, dough, underage slave girls' hands, and their own hand if they have to.
Yeah.
Wow. The last thing I think would be going through a Christian's mind if he was going on a pilgrimage to a holy place would be sexual issues. But with the Muslims, apparently they're going to explode because of their sexual tendencies during a holy pilgrimage.
Well, watermelons are very important in Islam. Muhammad said that you must eat watermelon, for it has 10 qualities. It is food, drink, a cleanser, a fragrant herb. It washes the bladder, washes the stomach, increases seminal fluid, cuts coldness, and purifies the skin. It is also narrated, eat watermelon as a fruit, for it is the fruit of paradise, and in it there are 1,000 blessings and 1,000 mercies, and eating it is a cure for every disease. The messenger, peace be and blessings be upon him, said, no pregnant woman eats watermelon except that her child will be handsome in face and character. So watermelons are very important.
So Muhammad's mother did not eat watermelon because the descriptions in the narrations of Muhammad are that he had an oversized forehead, he had a trembling lip, he used to walk as if he was falling forward, he used to grow his hair long and cover his head because he was embarrassed about the size of his forehead. So he was not a handsome man, I don't think. He had very thick, leathery hands. He was accused of being a fat dwarf. So there's a lot of issues with Muhammad. Some narrations say he was beautiful and pale and like the moon, such and so forth. But when we look at everything altogether, he did not seem to have been a child whose mother ate watermelon.
Yeah, but I don't know. If you watch the Yaqeen Institute is very clear that Muhammad had his eyes were perfectly shaped like almonds, and his cheeks were perfect. They weren't too out to where they look like he's a pudgy or fat. And they weren't too inside to where he looks like he's a skeleton, like malnourished. It was just perfect skin, and then also his lips were formed so perfectly and so beautifully, and you could just see the beauty of it. Didn't you see the Yaqeen Institute, that man on Yaqeen Institute who was talking about Mom?
No, he had a trembling lip. Even Allah had to tell him to slow down with his speech because he was talking too fast, and he was boring people. Even when he was doing his supposed sermons, Allah had to tell him to cut them short because he was making people fall asleep. He was boring.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a hadith that says that he was people were falling asleep, so Allah told him, "Hey, shorten your sermons. This is getting a little ridiculous."
Brother, you need to understand one thing. It doesn't matter. Because Allah made everything haram. You cannot fornicate. You cannot do adultery. Because if you do adultery, you know what is going to happen? Your wings will be cut off just like the wings of a bird that are cut off if they fornicate.
The veins of a bird?
Yeah. Of a zani bird or a fornicating bird.
Oh, an adulterous bird.
Yeah.
Like an adulterous monkey.
Like
So birds marry.
Go ahead, man.
Birds marry, and some birds do not marry because they are not Muslim. Brother Hussein, can you please show the screen and read it?
Yeah, but yay! I just got done doing a in-depth study on the adulterous monkeys, and now the birds.
Now we have adulterous bird. So let's read. 19036. Let's read. Hadsana ibn etc. Kala balagha an Yusuf. Read it, brother.
Okay, I'm just. I'm sorry. I'm taking a screenshot of this about adulterous birds. Okay, let me just do the screenshot here. I'll read it. Okay. فإن الطير إذا زنى يا boy yay
Zina.
Okay, if a bird commits adultery, تناثر ريشته. Oh, it affects cut off his wings.
Allah will cut off all his wings. So he'll be butt
That's
naked bird.
torture.
أعرض
Because he did zina.
ثم نؤدي فأعرض فتمثل له يعقوب عادا على أصبعه. It's talking about Jacob biting his finger. فقام.
Read this one. So, Ya ibn Yaqub, O son of Yaqub, La takunanna katir la rish, fa iza zani kad alaysa lahu rish. So let's translate into English. Let's see.
Wow. Oh,
Well,
I'm sorry. You're going here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
just saying.
Regarding his. Now, what is this hadith? Is this Kafi? A Kafi?
No, it's not Kafi.
Al
It's Quran
Mutanna narrated to me
This is
saying,
Tafsir al-Tibri. Wait.
Abu Hudayfa narrated to us saying,
Do
Shibl
not be
narrated
like the bird that has feathers, but when it commits adultery, it sits without feathers.
Oh, a plucked bird.
Yeah, without feathers. All your feathers will be removed. So what happened is, Ibn Humayd told us, saying Salah told us, on the authority of Talha, on the authority of Sectra, on the authority of Sectra, when it reached me when Joseph sat between the woman's legs, untying his purse, he was called upon, O Joseph, son of Jacob, do not commit adultery, for when a bird commits adultery, its feathers are fallen out, like his feathers were taken out by Allah.
I've seen birds with no feathers.
They are the ones who commit adultery.
Shame.
And then
shame on them.
On the authority of Ibn Abbas, who said, it was proclaimed, O son of Jacob, do not be like the bird which, when it commits adultery, loses its feather and it is left without any feather.
Yeah.
So Allah removes the feather of the bird who commits adultery.
So Allah, this isn't okay. Now this is important.
Feather plucker.
And this is not Shia,
so
brother.
this
This
is
is
not.
Tibri.
This is not like a Sharia punishment that like the sheikh has to do it or something. Allah does this.
Yeah.
He takes priority. He handles it.
It is At-Tibri, brother. It's not Shia.
Okay.
It is
Okay,
At-Tibri.
I'm just asking, because I want to know, and just
I'll
because
give you the link. Let's have
I
a link.
wonder
There you
what if that's the only punishment is the plucking of feathers. There's
My
no
friend,
stoning
if
for
you
them.
have feathers and I will pluck each and every feather of you, that is a huge punishment. Trust me.
Yeah, no need for stoning or whipping, no lash.
Try plucking the
because
feathers
with
of
monkeys, that there's stoning.
They get stoning.
Because they don't have feathers, sillies. Feather plucking is
Yeah, if
more
you look
painful.
at a bird, if you ever seen a bird with no feathers, that's very embarrassing. That's
You
shameful.
see now, whenever I see a bird without feathers, it's like,
How can a bird without feather fly?
you know what, you are, I'm just I do have some photographic. I have photographic evidence of this right now. If you just allow me a second here,
And
I
this
want to
is
show
Allah. Allah is he doesn't even.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Where's your mama? Where's your mama?
Sure, I didn't realize it was an adulteress.
No, he had his feathers.
He
he's
has
good.
his feathers, brother.
Yeah, he's okay.
Oh.
He's good bird.
He's a
Okay,
good bird.
but okay, thank you.
Yeah, no. If you find parakeets, they lose feathers. They're the adulterous kind.
Dude, you guys, I have to go to bed. This has been very fun.
How can you go to bed after reading about the adulterous bird, Habibi? This is serious business here.
That might be my episode tomorrow, by the way. So
I sent you the link, so enjoy
Thank
the
you.
link reading it.
Thank you so much, man. This has been awesome, man. Really gave me
Yeah.
so many different ideas for live streams. I appreciate it.
You know, you have adulterous birds, adulterous monkeys. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was not able to show you the watermelon who are Muslims, so because Shia Online was not working. But
Well,
I'll
you know,
give
I
you some
did
of the.
I did something about watermelons a couple days ago, but this is, you know, it says here, it says if a man fears that his bladder or testicles might rupture due to the retaining semen during Ramadan, he should release the semen in a way that does not invalidate the fast, such as masturbating with his hand or with the hand of his wife or a female slave. If his female slave is a young child, or if she is a non-Muslim, she can masturbate him with her hand. If he cuts open a watermelon or dough and ejaculates inside it, this is easier than masturbating with his hand.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
So, you know, that
This
kind of
is
has,
Ibn Qayyim. This is Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, right?
yes, at Juicy, yes, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And it was,
MashaAllah.
but it, you know, so much practical wisdom there, you know.
It makes me
Man,
not want to buy pizza or buy fruit from a Muslim vendor.
You know, when I did the episode with Father Zechariah, that's what his son said. He says no one's ever going to buy a watermelon again, but I said, or they're going to be buying a lot of watermelon.
Oh my goodness.
no, but like the watermelon, it has to have a cut open to do such a thing.
Yeah,
So you're
and you have to
safe.
taste it. You have to taste it, make sure it's.
Well,
No,
you have to
it's
examine for a cavity.
but brother Truth Defender, when he's getting a pizza from a Muslim shop, he does not know what is cooked inside the dough.
That's why I mean you don't get a pizza from a Muslim shop.
Like,
Go to
so
Domino's Pizza.
you need to be not in Texas or not in New York,
No, get a
not
Little Caesar's
in
pizza.
Michigan, not in Michigan, not in New York, not in Texas. If you are in America, do not have a Muslim cook your food. I think
Correct.
California even is going pretty Muslim nowadays as well, as far as
Well,
I have
yeah,
seen.
over here in Anaheim, California, Brother Hussein can testify. We have a very large Muslim community in
Yes.
Anaheim.
MashaAllah.
Hey,
MashaAllah.
but young Bob was attacked in front of a mosque in London.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
London is Islamic Republic of London. You stop calling it London. It's Islamic Republic of London.
yeah. Well, I was there in right after 9/11, and I went to the no-go zones, and it was bad back then. The police told me to leave the area, that it was too dangerous, but I still went.
Hey,
So that
you know, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just saying that that was way back then, and I went twice to London, to Newcastle, England, and preached the gospel. And yeah, back then I knew things were bad, and it's only gotten worse.
And then Seattle is going down south as well in America. Texas, which was the main hub of Christian belt, is going down the drain.
Yeah, there's Islamic strongholds. Anaheim, California. You have parts of Los Angeles. There's obviously Dearborn, Michigan. Um, you have the Somalis in
Minnesota.
Minnesota. So yeah, they're doing what they said they would do, exactly like they planned.
You see, that's one thing the Jews always say. When your enemy tells you what he's going to do, believe him. And because they say exactly what they're going to do, and then they do it, you know. And you know, but Americans are so naive because they think, because they're good, they think everybody else is good. Because they're kind, they think everybody else is kind, and they don't realize there's a sinister plan, you know. So
Brother, there was a time when America had freedom of speech. Now, America doesn't have freedom of speech.
Not so much. We still do, but not as much.
No, when you say not so much, then you don't have freedom. So you are actually agreeing with me that it doesn't have freedom of speech. When you said not so much, then you are already telling me there is a limit. And as soon as you define a limit, there is no freedom of speech.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true. According to our laws, we have the right to the freedom of speech. Uh, Obviously within limits. For instance, you cannot go to a movie theater and yell fire if there's no fire.
No,
That's obviously wrong.
that is creating chaos
Right.
by
But
deceiving. But
we
freedom of
have the
speech
right
is that
to
when you want to express something, you can express. So freedom of religion is tied with freedom of religion.
right. Right
Just
now
week
in the
ago,
books, according to the law, we have the right to use speech even if it's offensive. So it's not, but the problem is that we have corrupt judges and politicians that are violating our right of the freedom of speech. So
Oh, say that's hate
according to the
speech.
Constitution, we should have the right to the freedom of speech, even if it's offensive. But the way the corrupt politicians, attorneys, and police departments and such and so forth, they violate our rights. So our rights are
so
there, but they're being violated, is what I'm saying.
just right now, the Supreme Court of the United States approved a lawsuit against a Catholic church who said that they are not going to marry a trans couple. Search it on the internet. So where is the freedom of religion?
No, that's true. There's been the issues with the bakers that did not want to bake a cake for homosexuals. They had their businesses shut down. Yeah, I have a whole list of our constitutional rights and statutes and mandates and ordinances in different states concerning freedom of speech. The problem is ignorant and corrupt politicians and law enforcement that don't protect that freedom. So then you have to get an attorney and you have to fight it in court, and then that costs money, it costs time, and it's very troublesome. But our laws do give us freedom of speech. The problem is the corruption within the system. So it's a double-edged sword. It's something we have to keep fighting for.
All right, you guys, I gotta go. It's been fun. Thank you so much for coming on. Please come back all the time.
Oh, this was difficult, Brother Hussein. The
I know you're very sensitive to
my
adulterous
virgin
words.
ears, my poor virgin ears.
Get stuck for Allah. Get stuck for Allah. You do know that liar go to hell according to Christianity.
That's true.
And you call your ears virgin ears? Nothing in your body is virgin, let alone ears.
Okay. All right. I know I've had a rough background. I know that, but some stuff is like even beyond what I even realized, which is pretty crazy.
Did any of you guys watch the hockey game that America won in the Olympics?
All right,
No.
guys, have a blessed day, evening, or night, wherever you are.
But just wait
Allahu
one
was
second. I want you to
like
see this.
hockey, really hockey? You gonna talk hockey with me?
Because I want to tell you that the losing team, this is the guy who was the goalie for the losing team, which was Canada. I got his shirt. Look at his name.
Maka. Maka.
Wow.
Mashallah, mashallah.
So
But
that was a losing team.
in hockey, you guys don't even play hockey. It's called ice hockey, and you call it
Ice
hockey.
hockey, yes.
Canada,
That's
they
not even
play.
hockey.
They like hockey.
But you guys should watch President Trump's speech. It really was. He said, one thing he didn't say. He never mentioned Islam, but he did mention Christianity. He says we're having so great. So many people are coming to Christianity and everything like that. He didn't say nothing about Islam though. So praise the Lord. So
He has to say it. He's a dying breed, anyways. I don't think he
yes,
will survive the midterms because of what he has done to economy or what he has not done for economy in
yeah.
America. So he's not going to win the midterms. for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope so, but there's a lot of, yeah. So either way, Jesus is coming back, so we'll be all right. So
All
anyway,
right. Good night,
thank you
folks.
guys. Thank you so much for coming on, you guys. Please come back. We'll always love to have you.
And who is
And
the
Favorite Murtad, it's me and Allahu Asghar wa Yeshua Akbarul Azim. Brother, you gotta end the stream now. That's when you end the stream. Steve, that is when you end the stream. I am the favorite Murtad always. I understand you are jealous, but when you go to Allah, your jealousy will be removed.
the shin of Allah, I can't believe you said that.
I'm telling you. You can trust me on this one. I am the favorite Murtad.
Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. Just like you sound. That's what the
Trust
Muslims
me
say.
when I say don't trust me.
Yes. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on. It was great to have you, man. And everybody else, thank you for being here. We went on quite a bit tonight. My wife had a fire in her belly tonight, so
What?
thank.
Is that an American term? Like
Yeah,
she pregnant?
no, she
So
was
what
just
does the
on.
fire in the belly mean? Like she's not pregnant?
No, I mean she was passionate because I was talking to ChatGPT about Islam, and ChatGPT or Grok, it's like ChatGPT, and Grok I think is Muslim. They
Yeah, I have
defend.
been debating Grok. So, but thank you for telling me because if somebody had told me that she has a fire in her belly, I would have assumed that she's pregnant. So
You never know. No,
I
no.
just learned that.
No, fire in her belly means you're passionate about something, and she's so passionate about Islam, talking about it and stuff, and about the lies, and so she came on and she spoke, for a while about Aisha being 6 years old, and so we covered a lot of ground tonight. So
Ah, give my regards to her and best wishes, and tell her
so
that the
much,
favorite
man.
Murtad sent her his regards to her. So take care. God bless you. Shout with me.
What?
Allahu Asghar. Shout with me. Allahu Asghar.
Surah Akbar al-Azim.
Yeshua Akbarul Azim. God bless you all.
Hallelujah, man. Thank you, brother. God bless you. And I am the favorite Mortetti guy now that he's gone. So, anyway, if you haven't done it, do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. يسوع ساعدني. يسوع سامحني. يسوع ادخل قلبي. We love you, but much more importantly, he loves you. Have a great night. Thanks for being with us.